You're listening to the Here for the Clout podcast. Here are your hosts, Sherilyn Dale and Cece Suarez. Yeah, baby.
I've missed you so much.
I know.
Oh,
I know you did. That's like Glinda.
that's so nice of me.
They are going to miss me so much. I missed you so much. Why does it feel like we haven't been together forever? I guess because we haven't. Because Jay and Kai have been gallivanting without us.
Yeah, it's honestly really rude. Are we mad at
And
them?
we've
I
been
think
in the
we're mad at them.
trenches. No, we wish we could be a part of it.
Ooh, Jay will love this. I bought a 1930s vintage, means the same thing, Chelsea. Remington, I forgot, Remington something typewriter today.
I thought Remington in my mind, for some reason I thought a gun. I said, I don't think Jay's a big gun guy.
Well, then he's not going to be excited about our AK-47 that we have from wartime Germany.
Maybe he will. Let us know in the editing right now, guys, if you are. But oh my god, I do feel like he'd be more on the typewriter.
No, it's so beautiful. And Bean keeps going up to it and going like this, and it clacks. Oh, hey, hold on. Hey, welcome back, Clout Queens, Kings, and in-betweens. Welcome back to the Here for the Clout podcast. I am one of your hosts, Cece Suarez. Thanks for being here. And this sexy starfish is Sherilyn Dale, your other co-host.
Hi guys, we missed you. We missed each other. We miss our editor.
I feel so
Hence
weird.
why we didn't even know how to start this, because we feel lost.
Yeah, I have felt like when you texted today, they're on like some retreat thing we didn't get invited on. It's fine. I'm only a little bit sad about it. But Sherilyn texted our like team group chat and was like, hope you're all having a great time. I feel really weird that like Chelsea and I aren't scrambling right now and you're not like requesting us to send you something because like we messed up. And then I read it again and I was like,
it was too calm for a Wednesday.
I was like, that's why this feels weird.
Right?
No,
it just was really weird.
Yeah, it was very, very strange. I had a lot less text today.
Yeah, me too. Well, we were texting each other a lot and in the trenches. We don't know how we're going to go with this episode. We're kind of all over the place. If you've been watching Chelsea's TikToks and Instagram, I'm sure you're knowing why. We're working on a project, guys. It was just going to be an episode, and then it turned into a full-fledged. This is so deep. There are so many connections, specifically with like people that like Chelsea knows, because this is it's personal. With it being set in Tampa. And now now we're like, get Netflix on the phone. We're putting something together, man. So yeah, that's kind of what we've been not dealing with, like just
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we should save that for the end of this. And then we can get into the extended bonus episode if we need to as well, which we don't really need to. Anyways, I already promised that this episode is going to be longer, so sorry. But I definitely do want to go over a lot of things that we have found out so far and just, kind of have a big old sit-down team meeting about it, because it's been crazy.
Love that.
If you don't know what we're talking about, because, hey, we haven't said it yet, we're talking about More Than Elizabeth, also known as Inventing Elizabeth, also known as, what's her full name?
Elizabeth
Takenbrock. I keep mispronouncing it, and I'm like, Talonhook. Talonbrack.
I do kind of enjoy it. It's almost like how people wait to see what you're going to call me at the beginning of each episode. I'm like, what's Chelsea going to call her?
No clue, girl. I don't even know.
You haven't got it right yet, but I'm not upset about it.
I don't know what's happening. Listen, she's a scammer. But it's truly wild. So if you don't know all about that, it's a lot. And this is kind of like her second saga, like a part 2-ish, because, there's like a first time she got exposed and now there's this time. And it's definitely one of those situations where, except for like way more drawn out and spaced out, to where you get invested into something and you hear one person's story and you're like, all right, I'm on, like how Jessie says, this always happens to her. She's like, all right, I'm on their side. Like, yeah, I'm going to bat for them. We ride at dawn. And then the person that like is on the opposite side of the situation comes out and you're like, well, great. Now I'm on their side. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. You don't even know where to go. And this has gone back so many times.
Yes.
This has gone back and forth, like between the husband and her. And we discussed this briefly before we started recording, where I don't think that, like, I think she kept her support for so long because he's never been on social media aside from like being like, listen, I need to like clear my name here, and didn't know how to do it. So now he's finally doing like a Risa Tisa. He tried to start a website that was not, and like funnel people to it, and then it just didn't make sense. It's like, where's the context with all of like these documents? Like, we're not understanding here. And then would go on live, so then people would miss it, and then people just were like, why are you still talking about this? Because you haven't even given us like substance.
Yeah.
Now he's doing a Risa Tisa type like full breakdown with insane receipts. We got seasons. We're on season 6 right now.
Oh, season 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on season 6. But this is what you need to do. Because once I saw the receipts and like him kind of breaking it down, yes, it's long-winded. Andrew, don't worry. We're going to talk later about it. Get you on the right path, bud. But it is long-winded. But again, that was also something we talked about. I'm glad it kind of is, because it really does show the manipulation and kind of like the conversations, and how like if anything was like remotely brought up that he was like suspicious about, the script was flipped, and all of a sudden she's in emergency surgery that there's no proof that she ever was, or the cancer's flaring up again, because like, don't question me, I'm sick. And we know that now none of that was true.
Kind of reminds me of when Linda would, like 5 to 6 years after she had cancer, would be like, oh, she didn't want to do something. She'd be like, oh, I can't do it. You know, the cancer. And finally one time Tony was like, Linda, it's been 6 years. You can't keep using the cancer card because you don't want to do this with us. And she's like, that's the great thing about a cancer card. It never expires. And he's like,
that's why Tony's Linda's best friend, though, because he calls it like it is.
Yes. And he will, I've found this out recently. Why is his gun on my bookshelf? And that's not a euphemism for his penis. I wish. That's weird. Oh, I put it there. Just kidding. Hey, when our cleaning people come, we have them clean my office first so I can like do work, but then also so that we can like hide in here while they're cleaning the rest of the house, because Bean's obsessed with them and wants to go help them.
Yeah.
That's not how this works, Bean. No. Anyway, so we're stuck in here for like 3 hours. Tony goes, wait, are they still here? I looked outside. They'd been gone for like an hour. And I was like, we're just sitting in here for no reason.
Okay, but why did he bring his gun? Like, he was just cleaning it, or what? Isn't it locked up? You guys don't have to lock up over there?
No,
you live in Florida.
All of them. It was his work one. He has it on his hip.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, and because he was at like some training thing today. Okay. Like out at the gun range or some shit.
Well, I love that you guys had that time together. Did you guys do anything on the daybed? Not together, obviously Bean was there, but like, did you guys watch a movie? Did anyone have a nap?
Tony took a little bit of a nap on the daybed.
Yeah.
Thanks Helix mattress or Helix sleep or whatever you're called. Thank you. But love them. But then I used the little sticky thing that's not there anymore. It's actually still attached to the mirror up there. And I put Moana 2 up there for Bean. And I yelled at Tony to send me a bunch of, not yelled, I asked him nicely to send me a bunch of our accounting documents that he has to send me so I can send it to Alexa, sorry for any of your home robots that just went off, so that we can send it to our accountant. And then that's really it. Nothing crazy.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
nice.
but you know what
sounds
is
productive.
You know what is crazy though? What were we talking about before that? Oh, my mom. She's insane. Sorry. What I was going to say. I'm so sorry. Listen, timestamps. If you don't like that we ramble, 1, shut the fuck up. 2, I love you. I'm very sorry. I just told you to shut up. 3, you're beautiful and your butt looks good. And 4, there are chapters or timestamps on our videos and on our episodes for a reason. You're gonna be fine. Anyways, so
I love that the people who have stayed are just like, I actually prefer this.
Yeah. So remember, you guys remember? Are you listening? Thank you. Sorry. Sometimes I have to bully you. It's because I like you. Yeah. So remember how my mom was like, oh, by the way, I can't watch your kid during this part of when you're going to be in London. So bye, good luck. So we were going to have to cancel our trip. And then Tony called her the other day and was like, "Hey, so what do you have to do?" And she was like, "Well, I have, I have a doctor's appointment on this day. And, I don't really have anything else to do the other days, but, like my doctor's appointment is in Tampa, but, then I'd have to drive him all the way there and back." And Tony was like, "I think you're probably just going to cancel that doctor's appointment and then just make it for like earlier in the month." And she was like, "Okay." Girl, I told my sister that and she's like, "I got some people I need Tony to call." And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like,
I love that Tony's making moves though to like reunite with Brent for sure. Like I know that that's a big part of it.
Literally
like even
the only
Brent's like
reason.
he's like, "That's my brother. Like he wasn't gonna let me down. We've got plans out there." I'm like, you guys are so embarrassing, but I love it. It could have been really bad. It could have been that they fucking hated each other and were like, "You should quit that podcast because that girl's bad news."
No,
I don't like her husband.
they love each other a lot. But I also think it's like me and Brent are very similar
Yeah.
in certain ways.
Yep.
And then Tony knows like 4 words, so they balance each other out very well. Anyways, so a lot of y'all have been I can't. A lot of y'all have been tagging us on TikTok. I never go on TikTok, but hi. I've been seeing it, don't worry. On you're like something some of y'all were like, "This is about the with the Harry Potter wedding." And I'm just like, "Oh my God, no." So there's an update that we have to go over. And it's not even just like, "Oh, update corner." It's like, "Oh, dear God, this is like,
It's a full episode now.
yeah, this is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets." Okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
Reverie and I watched that. So now I can say that I have officially gone through two of the Harry Potters because it was on, surprisingly it wasn't Fast and the Furious on in my house on Tuesday or Monday. The Harry Potter, and Reverie just kept going, "Where's the wizard?" because it was on cable, so there'd be commercials, and then Brent be like wanting to change it. She's like, "Put it back on the wizard." So we watched it and she really loved it.
Yay.
It was
Well,
really
when y'all come
cute.
down here, we'll have to take her to Harry Potter World.
Yeah, I love anything like that. Like any like memorabilia or like museum-y type shit or like experience like that. I get really involved, and then I'll become like very obsessed with Harry Potter. Like if there's going to be, I think there's supposed to be a Wicked. Aren't they working for something like in Universal, or it would be Disney, right? Aren't they supposed to be working on a Wicked theme park or something?
No, it'd be Universal. It's not Disney.
Oh, would it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I heard about that and I'm like salivating. Like I'm just like, that needs to be done right now.
They have like a showcase or something. They have like an exhibit. They have
Oh, I love
something, but
exhibits.
I don't know if it's in Orlando or if it's because there's 2. There's Orlando and then there's the other one.
California, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
in
an
LA.
exhibit. Like I hope you're ready for London. Like we're going to the tower. We're going to see the jewels. We're going to it all, baby.
Do you want to go to the Warner Brothers Studios to go see the Harry Potter set?
It's in London?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so I'll get us tickets for that then.
Well, no, I can do it. I just didn't know that it was there.
Yeah.
We can fill that in because we're not going to be going to like the sex dinner show or whatever that was recommended to us. I was intrigued though.
What do y'all know about this place called The Box? I'm not asking about my box, because when I asked Tony, I said, "Have you ever heard of The Box?" And he goes, "I know about your box." He said, "Tony, that's not
Brent,
what I'm
man.
talking about." So there's this club called The Box, and there's The Box NYC, then The Box Soho, and then I'm pretty sure there's like 2 more, I think.
Oh.
But apparently the Box NYC is more like kind of a little bit more grotesque. So it's burlesque, but then so it's like a burlesque show and then like a 30-minute burlesque show, and then there's like a DJ or whatever. And then there's like they call it like not a freak show, but that's kind of what they call it. And then that's like 30 minutes. And then they have, the DJ come back on again. And then there's like burlesque, and then it like switches on and off apparently. And people are like real secretive about it, but not so much secretive about it. It's that like if you talk about what happens, like your videos will be taken down, and it's not like the place doing it. It's because
Oh.
like this so crazy. Like you get demonetized right away if you talk about it, which we haven't been, so we don't know. But a lot of other people have talked about it, and they're
It could be on Patreon though.
oh yeah. But also I've read reviews and I've heard it's just like super pretentious, and I'm not into
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I don't want that.
I'm not into I've always said, girl, if you have to pay to be into VIP, you ain't VIP. Okay.
Amen.
That ain't that ain't me. That ain't Tony. That ain't us, all right? I'd
Yeah.
rather be like, I know someone and they know I'm gonna spend a ton of money here, and most of that is gonna be like whenever we go to Eddie V's, like the reason why we are considered VIPs there, even though we always get our comped there, we I'll leave like a 400. This is money means nothing. You can't take it with you. It does not make you better than anyone. It's literally a made up construct. Thank you. But I have trauma. But like I will literally leave like a $400 tip for the server.
Yeah.
And the GMs have always told me like, yeah, if you keep doing that, like obviously we're going to keep comping you, because if we comp you, then you're more inclined to give like to spend more money. So our bill
Yeah,
will be
your
like
shop. Yeah, exactly.
a penny. But I'm like, I'm not trying to spend $2,000 to get a table.
God, no.
No.
No, it's not. No, we're not doing it. It's fine.
Well, then I was looking into swingers clubs because I was like, I just want to like go have dinner and then like go have drinks, and like it'd be cool to like watch someone do it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that we had as many as we do in the city. And I didn't know some of my friends, like who I would have never expected, have like gone there to like just peruse around and watch people bone in rooms. I'm just like, what?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I want to do that so bad. Like, it's so interesting.
Do you want to be the watcher or do you want to be the boner?
I think we just want to watch. Just want to
Okay.
take a peek.
I didn't even know that was a possibility, but yeah, I just realized that several of them. So, anyways, well, we're taking suggestions because apparently that's not where we're gonna go, but we will also be at the Royal Jewels,
And
the
also the Eye of
Towers.
London and the Tate. I don't know if we're gonna have time to go to the Tate, but I'm so excited. I know all about
Me
the
too.
tube, which ones I got to get on.
Oh, good for you. I'm gonna have to be like on with Kelsey all the time, like being like, hey, this is where the show is, so that I already have it like mapped out as well, because I get really overwhelmed.
Yeah,
Anytime I've ever gone, it's just
yeah.
like I'm with her.
Yeah, I have it in my my Google Calendar, and on my itinerary, it has what station I have to get on, and then where I have to get off. Then I have to go get on this other one, then get off there.
I
Yeah.
love you. It's so fun though. It's so nice and easy. I wish like everybody had it, because once you get on, it's like you're like, oh, like I'm literally across the
Girl, but
city, like hours away, basically.
yeah, but the
It
New
took
York,
me,
compared to the New York subway,
oh yeah, I've never been.
I keep forgetting you haven't been. This shit is
No, I know.
awful.
It's really depressing.
Oh my God, it's horrible. But yeah, so there's that. Anyways, so
That's what Kate. Do
another
you know how we got there?
hour
Harry
long.
Potter, the Harry Potter wedding, and this is where we ended up.
So we'll have the episode link down below, but
Yeah.
again, mistress talk. We are here, girlfriend. We're here. But what is a good, I guess, a good recap of it would be, it was yet another person putting their spouse and the person on blast. And
Sarah.
and Sarah had a toddler and two big dogs, and her husband was like being a fucking weirdo. And he was
Sam, not Ben.
Sam, not Ben. Thank you. Sounds like someone just recently rewatched our episode. And he had been a second shooter for a wedding. Not talking about like Kennedy shooter, but he was the second shooter, second photographer. Anyways, we'll get into those release documents soon. Don't worry. No, we won't. There's literally nothing there. It's a waste of time. Tell me about the aliens, Trump, you piece of shit. So, anyways, so he was the second shooter at this wedding. That was a Harry Potter themed wedding. Also, she is not cute. Does not matter though. She's also a piece of shit. However, it seems like everyone else is a piece of shit and everyone sucks here, because he had been lying to his wife for a while and hiding it and whatever. And just the way he was going about it was really shitty. And she was really trying to work it out. And then he was like, okay, well, I'm just going to move out. And then he was like blaming everyone else but him. And he was like, what was one thing that he said? He was like, oh, I like acting like it's not his fault. And he's like, no one understands. Like,
no one understands what I'm going through. And it's like, bro, you
did this to
left.
yourself.
Like,
So
and now
crazy.
I have to get an apartment because I have to take the dogs because you can't be 38 weeks pregnant with the 2 big dogs and the toddler. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
And then the mistress tried to, I guess, tell the wife, like, oh, we really need to like be there for him, and acting like the mistress like knows him better than like the wife does.
Better.
And it was crazy. He got put on like a psychiatric hold for like a minute, a 5150, but less than that, or he got Baker acted or whatever. And essentially, she had the baby, whatever, she's doing okay. Well, enter some new characters, because apparently this is a vicious cycle that doesn't end.
Yeah, we're gonna hear from Andrea. All right.
Okay, so my boyfriend of 4 years left me abruptly.
Okay, kindergarten teacher, calm down. What's going
She does
on
look like
here?
a kindergarten teacher.
What is going on, Miss Sunday School? All right, sorry.
I feel like she could make a killing on OnlyFans being that hot with those outfits, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
Okay,
Andrea.
trad wife. Anyways, sorry, girl. I don't know you. Sorry, Andrea. Okay, let's move on.
And started sleeping with his ex-coworker not even a week later. And she is currently TikTok famous for being cheated on her husband while she was pregnant, and gaining a lot of sympathy from people online and talking badly about the mistress that he left her for, when she is basically doing the same exact thing to me. Let's talk about it. Alright, so for the sake of the story, because I don't want to say their real names, even though I could probably figure it out. Let's say my ex-boyfriend now, his name is John, and her name is Kara. Okay, so John and Kara used to work at the same place a little while back. I knew both of them, and yeah, they worked together for a little while. Kara was left in about, I want to say September or October, early October of 2024. And she called John, who was my boyfriend at the time, and told him what happened. And, you know, I didn't think too much of it because they used to work together, they were friends, you know, she's going through something. Makes sense to want to share that. So then John, I was planning to be out of town because I had a work trip, and John tells me that they're gonna go have lunch while I'm out of town with another couple that I do know and trust. So, you know, at first I was like, well, I want to go to lunch too. I want to see everybody and, you know, be there. I know all of them. You know, why can't we reschedule the lunch for a time that I will be home? And he says, well, no, that's when everybody can go. That's the time we agreed on. It's not up to me. I was like, okay, I mean, sure, I wanted to go, but if I'm not going to be here, that's the time you guys agreed on. I guess I'm left out of it, whatever. So they go to lunch. I don't know if anything more happened at that lunch. I have no proof of that, but the things that happened after that do kind of lead me to believe that maybe it was more than just a lunch. But so yes, basically, so that was in October. Our 4-year anniversary was the end of October, so we went on a 4-year anniversary trip. And John, in our early relationship, had told me if he was with somebody for about 4 years is when he would propose, because he thought that was a good time to propose to somebody. So I'm thinking it's happening soon. You know, to me, he was my everything. I would do anything for him, and I did do anything and everything for him. So I accepted him for all of his flaws. We all have flaws. No relationship is perfect. So I was happy and ready to spend the rest of my life with this guy. So yes, we have our 4-year anniversary. Then we go on a trip for his birthday, which is in December. A week after we get back from, sorry, I had to change. So basically a week after we get back.
Why did you put the cardigan back
Why
on?
did you change? Why did you change? Maybe he's more modest. Because we were going for, like, you know, the cool, or like the hot OF, like with the other outfit. I wonder what happened. I'd be more nervous about the white. Carry on.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. That's weird.
From his birthday trip is when he leaves very abruptly. We had just gone out with some of our
Why does it sound like she's filming this in a plane?
It does now,
I'm
right?
hearing like recycled air. I think it's because she like adjusted her phone, so then the speaker is like covered, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why
okay,
you should
that
always
makes
have it
sense
like
because
kind
it
of
was like
tilted
clear
towards you.
before.
Or
Yeah.
I don't know. Or on like a stand where like under here is like open. Little filming tip for you.
That makes
friends
sense.
whose birthday was the night before. Yeah, so when he told me he was leaving, we had just returned from the store. And he tells me in the kitchen right when we get back from the store,
So I grabbed the
I'm
knife.
not happy, I want to leave. And I was shocked. You know, I tried to ask him all the questions under the sun. Basically, all the information I got from him is that we want different things, and he can't give me what I want because he doesn't want to get married or have kids or, you know, all this stuff. So he's doing me a favor. And I was like, at the time, I was like, no, if you're doing this for me, don't do it, blah, 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 whatever. Long story short, he leaves. About a week later, I am invited out to a brunch with some girlfriends, and Kara is there. And at this point, I don't know about anything of her between her and John, but I see Kara, and I know she had just gone through a similar situation, being left by her husband pretty abruptly. I was just left by my 4-year relationship very abruptly. So, you know, I sat down, I, you know, confided in her, related with her, you know, told her that me and John used to watch her videos, and, you know, we felt bad for what she was going through. And she was like, oh, don't feel bad for me. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, thought it was a weird reaction, but also didn't think much of it at the time until I find out a couple days later that she had been sleeping with John ever since he left me, basically. So, and so when she sat there next to me, smiled in my face, all the while knowing, yeah, that she was with my ex not even a week after he left. So, to me, that is just not good behavior, especially when something had just happened to you and you're obviously very upset and hurt by that, and you even said in your videos that you don't wish that on anybody, and then you turn around and do basically the same exact thing to me. And
That's not the same exact thing. Listen, we got a little bit left of this, and I know there's like 2 other things, but listen, I'm sure y'all are like,
You're going where the comments were going, where they're like, he did end it. Yes,
yeah,
this was grimy.
yeah,
And we're gonna hear. Don't worry, he has made a statement. So that is
oh no,
public. So we will get like a little bit like into like his head and everything like that, where he was at, and then I think a couple of the work friends too, because this definitely like took on
a life of its
obviously
own.
a life of its own. You know, we're getting
Oh my
tagged in
gosh,
it.
look at
in
us,
it
we're
too.
finishing each other's. Nope.
Sentences.
Okay,
Sandwiches.
that's what I was gonna say.
Jinx.
Yeah, okay.
Do it. Do it. Our mental synchronization.
Can't have but one explanation.
You
And I.
we're just meant to be.
Be.
Okay, that was really fun. Okay, yeah. So let's let her carry on.
Okay, so I'm happy though that I'm like,
You're not the only one, babe.
yeah,
You're not the only one that people are saying, okay, so yes, this is a shitty
Yeah.
situation, but the way you're even presenting it is that y'all ended or he ended things. Yes, it was abruptly, but what she was going through was like full blown behind her
but
back. and
also
she was
like
30.
if,
And we also can't like compare hurt, right?
No, of course you cannot compare grief. Grief is not to be compared. And you know what? What is grief if not love persevering? You know? However, all of these people suck, especially all the men. However, with the whole like, and I'm sure I'm not going to be on anyone's side at the end. And again, they all suck. But like saying that like, oh, well, she like smiled in my face and blah, blah. And like, oh, I thought she had a weird, you know, I confided in her. She had a weird reaction, blah, blah. And it's like, well, yeah, you were all out to lunch. Like, is she supposed to just get up and leave or like ignore you? Like that must have been awkward.
Yeah. And that would be weird. I don't know if that is something that is addressed because I know that there's a like a TikTok gossip gal. I think we've had her in a couple of our videos before, who like recaps things. Her name's Alexandra. People were like reaching out to her. So I did hear something about the lunch and I didn't understand what that lunch meant. So it might be this. So we will see that later, of it not, I don't know, like feeling like that. I think Andrea might feel like it was like a setup or something, or Sarah did. I don't know. Anyways, the whole thing has gotten crazy. So before we like even get into it deeper, we all just got to breathe. We all got to just chill. We got a lot of people who are hurt right now. And I feel like all of the hurt is valid. Okay?
Guys, it's okay. And listen, if you think that Impractical Jokers is funny, then that's fine.
Not Emmy messaging me right after being like, I'm so hurt right now because I think it's funny.
There were so many people in the comments. I responded to one today that was like, I'm so offended that you said that, you know, if people like it, then it's embarrassing. And I was like, girl, but you didn't invent it. It's okay.
I love
like
it.
You
It's
didn't,
so cute.
you're not like,
I get it.
You're
I
not
get
the
it.
showrunner.
It had
It's
its
fine.
moments for me. It had its moments for me. It is whatever. It's fine. Again, it's okay. It's not about you. It's not about
it's
not
not about
us,
you. It's about Andrea. Let's go.
Yes.
You know,
Take it
so
away.
I can't stand by and stay silent while she has, you know, a nice big platform and is getting all of this sympathy, where she's just really being dishonest with all of her followers. So this is my side of the story. That's what I have to say. There's going to be more. There's definitely more to the story, like if I want to go into detail of why I think more happened at that lunch, and you know, just little things. And even right now, I know they're still sleeping together. She put a link to his business, his financial business, in her bio, so he's trying to capitalize on all of her followers. So yeah, I just don't like that. I don't like dishonesty. And I just don't think
It's messy.
it's right or a good way to treat people, especially when you know how it feels. So
Okay, is that it of this video? Does she just keep... Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
I need her to stop it.
So quickly, obviously, people knew exactly who she was talking about. People were like, Sarah McLean. Oh my God, no way, not Sarah. Then we also had the people being like, okay, but I'm also hearing that you're saying he did end things first.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go to Sarah.
Ow, 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 ow.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's fine. My foot itches as well, but I just had a little
Oh my
kink.
God, did she delete her f***ing TikTok?
Probably. Did you not save anything?
No, I did, but...
So people were tagging me and stuff, and I looked in my things that people had tagged me in, and...
Oh dear, I think...
Yeah, I think she did, because a bunch of people tagged me and stuff, and then it, like, doesn't show...
When she was getting tagged, when Sarah was getting tagged, she put just, like, a still photo of herself, like a selfie in the mirror, and it was a response to a comment, like... It was a response to that selfie in the mirror from a different video. And the comment said, girl, you better start clearing stuff up real quick. There's a video floating around, and you now owe it to everybody who supports you to say what's what. So she replies with this still, and it's just text on it. And it said, everyone is losing their mind over a story that isn't even true. As you've all noticed, I've been gaining traction on TikTok, and clearly some are desperate to insert themselves into something that has nothing to do with them. I did not sleep with somebody who has a significant other. Why would I do that when it has just been done to me? Believing a girl's story that literally starts with, he broke up with me and then did this and this, is insane. If he's single, it's not cheating. I would never do anything like that. And whatever lunch she references 400 times, her boyfriend wasn't there. I was with work friends. No one heard from me for 2 weeks, so he reached out to check on me. I was pregnant, she says in capitals. We have been work friends for 4+ years. It's very normal for us to be in touch.
That he left her for, when she is basically doing the same exact thing to me. Let's talk about
Comparing your boyfriend breaking up with you to my husband having an active affair throughout my pregnancy and leaving me 30 weeks pregnant with somebody else is crazy work. However, I do empathize with her and understand her frustration, but I'll never be someone's reason for their heartbreak. Also, everyone assuming that I'm in a relationship with him, I'm not, I'm single. So these are screenshots from conversations between Jay and Andrea and group chats that I'm in with Jay as well. The top right is between Jay and his friend. And also these group chats over here have existed for years, as I've known him for 5+ years. This is where we would plan our group lunches together with people who have checked on me during this whole entire scenario of what I've been dealing with. Also, she keeps referring to this lunch that I had when I was 9 months pregnant. First of all, Jay wasn't even there. I was only with my friends who were checking in on me. Also, he was invited to the lunch, but he did not come, as I was told that he had to go to lunch with his girlfriend. Like I said, we've had many group chats together throughout the years because we all share the same friends. We're in the same friend group. Also, he was the first person that did reach out to me when my ex left me, because nobody had heard from me for 2 weeks, and he asked me if everything was okay, and I was like, no, Sam left me 2 weeks ago. That's when he told me to call him. I told him what happened, but at this point, I didn't even know about my ex's affair yet. Fast forward to October 27th, when I gave birth to my baby, who, as you all know, if you heard my story, I was still sleeping with my husband, still wanted my husband, and still wanted to keep my family together. I did not sleep with him when he had a girlfriend. We were each other's rebound once he broke up with her and he moved out and had his own place. As far as my comments being filtered, if you guys have the whole internet coming after you over someone else's lives, you would do it too. I will defend myself, so if I appear defensive, rightfully so.
Yeah, checks out. No notes. No notes,
No
girl.
notes. Okay. Yeah. That's how I'm feeling as well. We did have a follow-up from freaking, hold on one sec. Now we're just going back and forth in the damn thing.
I mean, like, I understand like, she's, like, this girl, like, I understand that Andrea's hurt and annoyed, and it's like, like, how could you do this? You know how it feels, but it's like, no, she knows how getting cheated on feels. It's not the same situation, and also, if he's single, it's not cheating. And I mean, you can say all day long, like, oh, well, there's like group chats and like y'all talk, and it's like, yeah, but that's like your coworker. Like, my husband has group chats with his, there's multiple women on his team there, and they have so many fucking group chats. There's one of like all of them, and then there's one with like all of them and one of their bosses, then all of them with two of their bosses, and then there's like one group chat with like only the people that like each other and like excluding other people. And so, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, like, who doesn't have a group chat?
Yeah, I mean, we're in that day and age of having just like so many random like group chats who like some people are in, some people aren't. Like, I don't think that there's anything like nefarious or like that. I'm sure that she's spiraling thinking, okay, like what was said, like I wasn't in it, and what were they talking about?
Yeah, and I also think how she is like, yeah, our 4-year dating anniversary is coming up, and how she was like, oh, he's always said that like he would, around like 4 years is when he would propose to someone, which, hey, I'd say that's a good timeline. But then also, hey, maybe he was thinking about that and like reevaluating the relationship, and like, oh.
And that's what it sounds like. So this is Alexandra, who I said that we've corresponded with before.
Yeah,
These
we
are
like
just
her,
screenshots.
and she likes us.
Yeah, we do. Does she?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive. I'm pretty sure I come, whenever you send me someone to watch, I always watch their stuff, and I'm like, we love you so much, Queen. And they'll usually respond back and be like, oh my God, I love you guys. And I'm like, oh.
I love that. Okay, I love that for us so much. But yeah, we do love her. So these are just screenshots. They're in the Google draft, babe, or in the Google Doc, but it'll probably, they're not numbered. So I think it probably is just easier if I just read like what she's got here, from mine. Okay. So Alexandra said that after she had kind of like shared the update and everything, she was reached out to by the boyfriend. What are we calling him? What do they call him? Josh, right? I think. I don't know if that's his real name or not.
Some white man name.
Yeah, so he messages Alexandra and he said, so this is going to be my first and last time speaking about this campaign of misinformation.
Ooh,
my name is Josh. Yeah. My name is Josh and I'm Andrea's ex-boyfriend, just looking to clear the air. I put a down payment on the condo we used to live in that she currently lives in. in 2020, less than a year from us dating. In hindsight, I believe we moved in too quickly with each other, and that ultimately led to our downfall. After about 2 to 3 years, I started to feel stuck and like I had jumped into the deep end too fast. Fast forward to my birthday cruise vacation 2024. I get free cruises through Carnival because of my casino offers. I pay for the drink packages, yada, yada, yada. He's kind of like just talking about how they go on cruises and stuff. And that was like what was set up. And then he has like a screenshot of the cruise packages anyways.
Sounds like he's like promoting himself to like, and I'm nice and I like long walks on the beach, and you can also get a free cruise if you date me.
I know, it's so weird. He does say that. He's like, basically we get a 70% discount.
Yeah. And also health insurance benefits. That's great.
So he goes, so that was the cruise that they went on, all right? So that was like already planned. This was something I guess that they, like was normal for them to do. He said, during said cruise, Andy kept bringing up, it's been 4 years, you said you'd propose. While she's correct, I did say that 3 years ago, but I still didn't know what I wanted. Every jewelry shop we passed, she would ask to go in and look at rings, which I shot down every time. After the cruise, I knew I couldn't keep this up. People who actually know me know that I've been thinking about breaking up with her for about a year already, but the cruise, yeah, that's so sad. That's gotta hurt. But the cruise was the final nail in the coffin, he calls it. Yeah. I'm sure everyone on TikTok would now agree I did her a favor.
Yeah.
As I told her while I was breaking up with her, I didn't want to marry her and I didn't want to have kids. Before anyone starts, I am not with Sarah. I am single and she is single, meaning Sarah. I am not marrying her, nor have I even met her kids beside 2 years ago when she was still with her husband. Sarah and I did not hook up physically or emotionally until after this breakup. My work friends are like my family and I always keep in contact with them, especially when I haven't heard from them in a while. Andy is not a bad person by any means, but I know her better than anyone else and I know she doesn't mean to cause the harm she is to Sarah. Both of them never meant to hurt each other, but I also know Andy is being influenced by outside sources for their own gain. And then he puts in brackets, Sam. So the husband, Sam, has been like in Andrea's inbox, like fueling her to try to like flip the narrative. He goes, now let's address the misinformation. That lunch Andy keeps referring to, I wasn't even there. She told me not to go. There was no scheduling conflict with other parties. I simply respected my girlfriend's wishes and didn't go. The brunch date where Sarah told Andy not to worry about me was a complete setup. Sarah was told Andy wasn't going to be there, and while everyone was at the table, Andy showed up because she was invited. I believe this to be completely fucked up and uncalled for. Next, I want to address the BJ's membership thing. I think this has to do with Andrea's follow-up video.
There have been a lot of comments on Sarah's appearance or comparing her appearance to my appearance. And at first I did like a few of those comments because it made me feel better or validated in my situation. But I realized that was not nice. And she is a person with feelings, even though what she did to me is not nice. But I don't think those comments are relevant because a person's appearance is really the least important thing about them. What is important is how they treat other people and who they are as a person. So I will be deleting any comments that are just purely directed at her for her appearance. That being said, let's get to the real villain of my story, who is my lying, cheating ex-boyfriend. Just a little bit of backstory. We met about 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago, when my good friend of many years invited me out. She said, I'm going out with my new coworkers, you should come. So I did, and we met, and basically me and him hit it off right from the beginning. We split off from the group and kind of just went and did our own thing, and from there we were almost inseparable. Since then, we have been together, we bought a condo together. Overall, on a day-to-day, we had a happy, good relationship. In June of 2024, me and him both quit our jobs to start our own businesses. And at that time, I let him know that this is a big change for our relationship and that it's very important for us to be open and honest with our communication because, you know, we might face challenges that we haven't seen before because we've both always had full-time jobs and this would be a new territory for us. So, you know, he agreed with that. Things were going fine really up until my business trip. After my business trip, I did notice a big shift in his personality and how he acted, and he has even told me that he started planning to leave me months before he actually did. So I noticed he started laying differently on the couch. We have like an L-shaped couch, so it's like that. So I would normally lay here and he would normally lay there. And so my head would be here, my feet would be there, his head would be there, feet there. So if he was on his phone, I could, technically if I wanted to look, I could see what was on the screen. When I got back, he started laying with his head there and feet there. So definitely being a little bit more secretive and hiding things. I didn't think too much of it at the time. I thought maybe he was just stressed with his new business and needed some space. So I gave him some grace, gave him space, didn't bother him about it. He had a credit card that had good grocery rewards points on it. So he had me as an additional user on that card. So I would do our grocery shopping and I would pay him for my half with groceries. I did everything. I did the grocery shopping, cooking, cleaning, and laundry on top of working my business or a full-time job. But he told me that he was going to stop using that card, that he has a different card that he's going to use now, and that he asked me to give him back my card so I wouldn't accidentally use it. a BJ's opened up close to our condo, so I signed us up for a membership online. He decided he wanted to upgrade the membership, so we went to their customer service. When we were there, he asked the lady to switch the main account holder to him versus me, and I said, why does it matter? We're both on the account. She has to do more work to switch it over. And he asked her, he says, well, if she's the main account holder, she could cancel the account, right? And the lady says, yeah. He's like, okay, yeah, I want you to switch it to me. And at the time, I thought that was weird. I remember we kind of got into an argument in the line because I couldn't understand why he was making such a big deal about that. He told me that I should be a brunette, and I considered it because, as I said, I literally would have done anything for him. I've told him if there's something I'm not doing that you want me to do, let me know. If there's something I'm doing that you don't want me to do, let me know. I'm very open, honest. He never once told me he was unhappy with any part of our relationship, never led me to believe that he would be leaving. I think he stayed with me until our vacations, until after our vacations. We had those planned already. I think he had it planned that he was going to go on those vacations and then leave me shortly after, which he did. He slept with me multiple times a day on his birthday trip, kind of like he was having his last hurrah. I think he knew it was our last trip together, and he took full advantage. He already had his place to stay lined up. It was a room at his buddy's place, and Sarah says she waited for him to move out and get his own place. Well, he did that the same exact day that he left. So for him to pre-plan all of these things, and even down to our grocery club membership, but not have a woman lined up that he knew was a sure thing as well, is really hard.
I pay for the damn membership. She got the lowest tier. I told her we should get the higher tier, and she said, okay, as long as I pay for it. Guess what? If I'm paying for it, I want to be the owner. Simple as that. Guess what? She's still a household member, and I'm still paying for the membership. The coach thing was completely dumb. I don't know. I feel like we were missing a chapter here.
Well, it's also just like this it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Y'all were broken up. It's not the
Yeah.
same situation. I understand that you're hurt, girl. I completely get it, but it's not the same thing. And I don't think, I don't think that it was a, super malicious thing, and I don't think that I think what she's thinking is that they got close, or what she's been led to believe is that they got close because like she was confiding in him, and they worked together, they've known each other for so long, and they like went to lunch together and did this and that, and then from there basically is saying that that girl Sarah is the reason why they broke up, which it's like
it doesn't sound like it. And he even
No.
says that in the messages. He's like, if you talk to like my friends and like my coworkers and stuff, like unfortunately I was having these doubts and these conversations for a long time, and I should have expressed that sooner. And I think he even does say like he was like ready, or like started having those conversations, and then it would be like, and then I would like miss her so much, and we would just kind of like go back and forth with this like trying to make it work, but I shouldn't have had like that many questions about everything.
Yeah.
But he basically ends with saying like she deserves the world, Andrea, and I can't give that to her.
Yeah.
He said nobody cheated.
That's good though too, because like even
I do love that.
yeah,
That happens.
because she wants to get married, and I don't want to like be like, oh, I assume that she wants to have kids, but he specifically said he doesn't want to. So I assume so I assume those are two things that she wants, and valid. Same here, girl. Like I wouldn't be okay with being with someone if they didn't want to get married and have, or at least try for a kid.
And in your mind that's what you're thinking, and you've heard like this 3 to 4 year timeline, so you're like holding on to that and being like, okay, this is the time you've invested your time, your energy. Like, some people think it's like, the best years of my life I gave to you, babe. No, they're still
but thank God, like girl,
you're gonna be fine. Yeah.
Well, and thank God you didn't get married, because some people will, even when they still have those feelings, because they feel like it's the next step and they feel like they're supposed to do it, and even same with having kids, they'll just go ahead and do it. And it's like, oh my God, thank God y'all ended it before you got married or engaged or whatever. And it's not the best years of your life, girl. Those are coming.
No.
I don't know how old she is. She looks very young, but those are coming. You're gonna be fine. Girl, now you get to start over? That's hot. I'm jealous. I'm very happy, but good for you. That's amazing. It's so fun.
I agree. And I
Yeah.
think like, he basically kind of like ends it up with like, he's very abrupt and be like, and listen to this. But at the end of the day, like his message is, I like that he still, I don't know, has like, it seems like love and respect for Andrea, also for his friend Sarah. Clearly like it took on like a life of its own for, it sounds like, a brief period of time. He says also, like Sarah does, that they they were two single people. I didn't emotionally cheat on anybody. I didn't physically cheat on anybody. It was two single people who hooked
were
up.
just trying
That
to
was it. Yeah, and that they're not together now. And then he does reiterate again, stop listening to people behind the scenes controlling the narrative. All these anonymous cowards who can't even put their name behind their words are just spreading misinformation and false stories. I'm not perfect by any means, like I've said before, and Andrea only has proof and receipts from liars like Sarah's ex-husband. Anything she has between us is just two people losing each other after a long time, a heartbroken girl and a very broken man spouting crazy shit out of pain, and I'm not proud or happy about anything that has happened, but I will own it.
Imagine being a private citizen. Like, it's different if, like, some shit pops off with us or, like, our lives or something. Being a complete, like, I was thinking about this the other day, a complete, like, almost everything that goes viral these days, especially on TikTok, is just, like, Mary Jo from down the street turned on her camera and just let her rip. And now,
and
like,
we've talked about that before, like, you don't want to go viral that way, babe.
oh, but it's like these private people, and then the people who were just like, no, I don't want to say catching strays, because he was a main character in this. He wasn't catching strays, but it's like, it's just so crazy. Like, you're a private person one day, and they still are, obviously they're not actual public figures, but that's crazy. Like, that's scary
to, like, have to go out and say something. And he has said too, maybe Aunt Alexandra said, like, had a private conversation about it with him, or it was in there and we just missed it, but he did, like, feel like part of this was the death threats that Sarah is getting and him seeing them and just being like, this is so insane and out of control, and the narrative has been spun such a way. And that's where it's like, even,
can we stop calling, not to pull a Jessica Urban right now, but can we please stop calling every negative DM, or like, there's a difference between a threat and, like, a plan, and then someone being like, hey, go kill yourself. Because that's usually
well, also let's not do that too.
Well, no, yeah, don't do that, obviously. That's weird.
Alexandra said that too. She's like, I've seen some of the screenshots, and you guys, like, I really hope it's no one that's coming from my page, like, because that's weird. Like, just don't get involved. Like, yes, we're here for the tea, we're listening to it, but to go real life and, like,
so
message these people, like, your disdain and hatred for, like an affair that had nothing to do with you. Yeah, and, well, it's not sounding like it was an affair by any means, but even, like, people hurt, like, there's so many emotions going on. Like, can you, like you said, imagine you just being, like, a just regular citizen, and all of a sudden your fucking inbox is blowing up, and people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You fucking whore, I supported you, I loved you.
Yeah, because I mean, like, we definitely, like, I don't want to say we're used to it, but, like, and not desensitized, but we've received our fair share of crazy stuff. Also, though, since starting this podcast with you, I have received less craziness.
I do love it. I think it's because people can, like, actually, like, see you. And I love when I see that in the comments where it's like, I love watching you, Chelsea. I've watched you for years on your own. I love your content. But, like, watching you with Cher, like, it's just, like, a different side. And I love seeing it so much. And it's like, I love seeing it too.
Yeah, I mean, take all the credit, please. It's definitely you. I'm not, that sounded so sarcastic, but it 100% is.
No. It's not you. It's not me, but it's just, like, it
no,
is.
it's not you. No,
I wasn't trying to do that.
I'm not.
But yeah,
no, I'm being very genuine. I really, like,
but to
I agree
have
with you.
yeah, like, it's kind of like an inside scoop of, you know, like, what you are more like in real world. And of course, again, we show what we want to on social media.
Yeah.
And there's, you know, an aspect of it where it's not, like, fully vulnerable, but, like, you are pretty much what you are now. Like, there's no you're no filter. I would say you're actually probably softer off camera.
I agree.
So I do love that for you.
Yeah, me too. I love it a lot.
Yeah, and it's fucking weird to go real life. Like, I don't know. That's what our girl Alexandra said. She was like, let's not. These are just the receipts. This is what I'm being told. This is people's statements. And yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think it just kind of took on a life of its own. I'm really sad, actually, now to see that just from, like, saving all of this, like, yesterday, Sarah's off social media, which means it probably got, like, even worse.
It's crazy. I mean, hopefully she just like deactivated for like a week or something just to let you know the news cycle.
Yeah.
And that's it's insane how people will be so mad. Jesse and Layla talked about this recently, how like people will be so mad or like so passionate about something that like literally never happened. It was the one about the like vixen, corporate vixen trend thing. The episode they had about that where
Oh,
yeah,
I loved that
where
one.
it,
I
girl,
fucking loved that one. I love that they
crazy.
didn't scrap it when Jesse was like, I started looking into this
No,
and
so good. It's
I clocked it right away that this was it was
Yeah.
satire. Like she just like took something because of her comments. That is probably one of my, well, they're all my favorite, but like that is one of my favorite in terms of like giving people a lens and like making you
Yeah.
think of, yes. I'm so glad they fucking kept that
Yeah.
episode.
It's
or
so
like that segment
so
into
crazy.
it and made an episode out of it
and like
because that was it.
like tracked it down and how she
Yes.
explained like she even explained like, okay, so I'm seeing people talk about it, but like where's the actual video? And then realizing,
Yes.
oh, it's actually just from this comment and a bunch of dumb like not understanding what this comment actually like says. It's kind of like how there's this page I love on Instagram. Here it is. And it is so wholesome. And they do like research on whales, of course. And so they have these they deploy like these tracking devices on the whales with drones. Sometimes it's called like the snot cam, because when the blowhole like goes, they have one that like collects snot, so like from the blowhole to like track shit, I guess. I don't know, because
I
they can
wonder
tell
if they
a lot
were
from
any of the ones we saw.
that. It's not a
We
lot
saw
of
a lot of
humpback,
blowholes.
right? Well, it's not a lot of humpback whales. It's a lot of we
Oh, is
saw,
that
and
what
then
we saw?
it,
I
like,
didn't know.
floating.
Mom asked.
It's a lot of blue whales and like sperm
Oh.
whales, I think. But obviously blue whales, there's not a bunch of them. And so they'll track them and put these like trackers on them so they can like help the species and learn more about them and their like migration habits and all that. So I just fall down all the rabbit holes. I love whales, as many of you know. If you're on Patreon, you saw me literally crying over whales, and then Brent having to like pet my back being like, you're okay, and then Tony just across the boat not even caring, just not even fazed by me crying.
Okay, the boat was really hard to maneuver on, so I don't blame him when he was already on the other end to just stay put.
Tony and I have our sea legs, it's fine, we're used to that. But yeah, it's amazing. So the places where they like mainly do this and mainly like do all this research and the like drone deploying of the trackers and is in the Gulf of California, which is, you know, the like by Cabo and all that, right? On that side, the other side of Mexico. So many people in the comment section of those videos, when they say like where they're doing the research and blah, 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 and like whatever, so many people will comment and be like, it's called the Gulf of America, or no, they'll be like, it's called the Gulf of Mexico, not the Gulf of California. Why are you bending to Trump and blah 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 blah? And people will comment back and
the
be like,
wrong one.
and be like, hey, dumb fuck, that's a different body of water.
Even I know that. Even I know that it's the Cancun one that like spills like even more into like America.
What's that called? What is the Florida of Mexico called? Come on, I taught you.
I don't know.
The Yucatan Peninsula.
I was gonna say peninsula. I mean, I didn't have the whole thing, but I was gonna say a peninsula.
Good job, girl. I'm so proud of you. It's the little uvula, just like Florida is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
You're like,
was
babe,
just
it's the other side. It's like calling the Atlantic and the Pacific, like, you know.
Gross. The Atlantic's disgusting. Sorry, guys. It's nasty. It's okay. You didn't invent it. You didn't build it. It's fine. God. But I live there. I don't care. I do too. It's disgusting. So yeah, it's crazy. It's like, and one of my favorite things to say is like, hey, you're getting mad about something that never happened. It's like when some people will be like, Chelsea, you doxed someone. Oh my God, in a video, you doxed someone. I'm going to tear a disc. And that would probably make them happy. And then that's why I get so, I need to text Jesse and Lily and tell them, but I get so excited whenever they say in videos when they're like, we need to like teach a class on what doxing actually is, because showing someone's name that they have on their profile is not doxing. If you don't want your name to be on the internet, one, don't use it as your username, but then also don't have it on your profile anywhere. You idiots.
Yeah.
Also, no one cares that much about you.
That was the biggest thing with that one, like that whole escapade. I know which one you're talking about. It was like, I think you said that in the group chat too. You're like, babe, that video didn't even perform well. Like, it's always the ones where it's like, no one even watched that, love. Same with
Yeah.
Rug Lady. Remember when she was like popping off about Jesse and Lily and they showed us the analytics and it was like, that was actually one of those ones where it was like, fewer less viewers are showing interest in this
10
one.
out of 10.
That's the worst.
And
that's
10
the
out of
worst
10 doesn't mean
notification to get
doesn't
to.
mean good, girl. 1 out of 10.
No.
Good. 10 out of 10 is
Yeah,
bad.
when it's a 10 out of 10 video on the YouTube analytics, you want to
Kill
jump
yourself.
off a bridge. But
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
fling myself right off there, taking you with me.
it's always them. It's always them, though.
But it's that you're getting mad at things that never happened, or when people will comment something and be like, "So you're saying this," and then they'll go off on you, and it's like, "No, you said that. We didn't. That never happened. You're getting mad at something that never happened." So it's that I think this is kind of a situation that where I don't want to say like, "Oh, your feelings aren't valid," but the pain you're feeling, yes. However, it's not. Maybe to say like, hey, your feelings are valid, but they're not appropriate, and like
Yeah.
because that's not what happened, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she did, we'll play it for you guys too. We'll put it in. She did make like another video, Andrea, kind of being like, okay, like, like this was my side. And yes, I did like kind of like start it off and like put a lot of things on Sarah. Let's talk about like my boyfriend, because yes, a lot of this is misdirected at her. And like he is like equally, or well, not equal. He's at fault for my heart being hurt at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we'll play that too, just because like, yes, she didn't double down or anything and try to say like, put it all on Sarah. She did end up making another video and talking more about the boyfriend.
I was planning on making a video last night for you all, but I found out that my 15-year-old cat Rufus, has cancer and only has about a month or two left to live. So I spent my evening with him and staying away from my phone for the most part. It's been a past crazy few days is an understatement. When I made my original video, I had no idea it was going to get this many views. And this morning I saw Claudia's video, and I have to say I completely agree. Sarah has been through a lot, and death threats or threats in her inbox, absolutely not okay. She did go through what she went through. The purpose of my video was to share my side of the story and let her followers know that things might not be exactly what they seem on her page as of lately. I wasn't originally going to make my video. It's been 3 months since he left. I have, mostly healed from that experience. I mean, grief comes in stages, and so does healing. So some days are better than others. But, friends and family were showing me her videos and the things that she's been saying, and the fact that she's still trying to portray this, innocent facade, even after what she did to me. It was upsetting. And everybody I told my story to, or who knew what was going on, kept telling me that I should make a video and that I need to, let people know my side. And I kept saying, no, I'm a millennial. I really haven't made a TikTok video before these. And I was barely even on TikTok. So I didn't think anybody was going to watch my video. I thought maybe I was going to get a couple views and maybe put a couple question marks in a couple of her followers' minds. I did not expect what this has turned into. I'm glad a lot of people can see my side of things. And if you can, that's fine as well. My inbox has been overflowing with people who have gone through a similar situation and who have thanked me for sharing my video because it made them feel a little better, I guess, to relate to me. Like, can only imagine what her inbox looks like right now. I hope she finds a healthy way to heal from her trauma that doesn't involve seeking validation from followers online or from men, so she can be the best mom to her 2 little babies.
I feel like, maybe if you did need that like moment of drawing somebody in, leading with the intro that she did, where she didn't say Sarah's name, but everybody knew what it was, but still like putting everything on like and focusing so much more on that like on her relationship and him, if that was the goal to just like kind of like get things out there and just like vent on the internet. And yes, I'm sitting here and I'm irked watching like all of people rally, but I'm feeling like I was done dirty by these two. It still should have all from the get-go been focused, I guess, on him. Again, it's so fucking weird.
Yeah,
Like you said, it's like this guy was like not even on social media. And he's just like...
that's, you know what? As Tana Mongoose says, this should have stayed on the SD card.
Yeah.
Could have kept this one in the camera roll, girl. You know what else we could have done? Written it down in a journal.
Mm-hmm.
It could have gone in your diary. Dear diary.
I mean, I get it. Like, if I would have been Andrea and that would have been somebody that was involved in, like, hooking up with my, like, long-term partner, like, so quickly after, and then, like, seeing everybody just, like, flock and support her and validate her, which she did deserve 100% and still does, I get it. Putting myself in those shoes, I would have been like Regina George, like in my room, like freaking grabbing the the Mean Girls
This
like burn book.
girl is the fuggliest
Fuggliest?
slut.
Yeah.
Do
I
not
would've.
trust her.
So I understand. Like you just want to freaking, you're sitting in the sidelines and you just want to let it go and let it out and just like have somebody validate that.
I think she also like it was the betrayal aspect of like I just saw you and like I
Yes.
confided in you and like I had like you had sex with him, but it's also like what I said before, what is she supposed to do in that situation? Just be like, that sucks, I gotta go. Just like leave, like, or right when you walk up then leave, like that's
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Again, I think it just like it circles back to Sarah really shouldn't have been brought up in this at all, but that was like the clickbait of it, and the person who was like closely tied to the person that hurt you. Of course, you had interactions with her and had some sort of camaraderie of sorts, I guess. So that in itself does hurt, but it's not all on Sarah at all. And the story was painted initially, even though she didn't say it, the way that she said it, because she said,
You're the reason
why
we
would
broke
she
up.
be somebody, we're the reason, and why would you do something to somebody else when it was done to you? And that's what I didn't like. And I was glad that Sarah clocked that, because she was like, okay, like you're okay to be upset, but I was never a part of like a broken home. Like I was told you guys weren't together. I didn't know like the dynamics of that.
And they weren't. According
Yeah.
to both of the people in the relationship, they'd already broken up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And listen, girl,
It's weird.
sometimes to get over someone, you got to get under somebody else.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
And
That's true.
is it gonna fix it? No. You're probably honestly gonna be sad after for like a while, but also it is a good distraction. And hey, you might have real good sex and then be like, oh my God, that last person didn't even like, he thought he was fingering me and he was like touching my leg crease. You know?
Not the leg grease.
How many times have you ladies said, that's my leg? That's still my leg. That's my leg.
There was one guy for sure that comes to mind. I'm just like, oh,
Girl,
no.
And the one time Tony and I did break up, I quickly realized
What you were missing.
what I was missing. Yeah. Because
Because of what somebody else was missing. Am I right or am I right?
and boy was he missing it. He's like, oh yeah, is that good? I was like, no, that is my hip. Sir, that's my armpit. Oh my God, and he was so sweaty. I thought about him the other day. I was like, oh God, what was I doing?
I love doing that. Like sometimes when you just like want to like strangle your significant other for like a brief second, and then you're just like, oh God, and then like you think about somebody, you're like, thank God for you. I love you so much. Let's go make up.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and makeup sex is the best.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
good.
been there. Hey, how about we do this? How about we focus our energy instead of like, getting upset or like annoyed by the situation of like affairs that have nothing to do with us. Share with us the times that somebody thought that they were, really performing and it was your armpit, like Chelsea said, or your belly button or your hip. That's what I want to know about.
Or
That's what I
when
want
you're
the
like,
comment section to
hey,
be filled with.
that's the wrong hole. And then they're
Yeah,
like,
that one
oh,
too.
sorry. Hey, guess what? That's still it.
I know that's the worst when you're like, nope.
Yeah.
Still, you wish. But anyway.
Yeah, babe,
Yeah.
we do not have enough gun oil lube for that. Oh my God, I commented on Avery Wood's picture the other day of her on the beach and her family looking really Mormon.
They did look really Mormon.
And I commented and I said, damn, you wouldn't know by this Mormon-ass photo shoot that y'all are basically probably keeping gun oil sales up or something like that. And I tagged gun oil.
And did she like it?
Probably not.
Ah.
Probably. I didn't.
Avery,
I didn't go look.
you would have loved this.
Avery, you would have absolutely loved this. Oh, did you see she went back? I saw this today. She went back to the house.
I can't. Don't
and got
talk
the
about
door
it.
frame.
The door frame?
Yeah.
POV, when you go back for the door frame, I'm that unhinged. I am that. I mean, realistically, I think she probably obviously had like more stuff to do there, but like that was some good content. And I bawled my ass off. Yeah.
I'm like, not paranoid about that, but like obviously like I know we're not going to be in that. This is not our forever home. So I told, because Tony was like, oh, which like one do you want to do it on? Like what door frame are we going to do it on? And I was like, was like, let's not do, I was like, let's get like the big like measuring stick thing and we can like hang it behind his door and we'll do it
Yeah,
there.
that's what we did. Yeah.
Yeah, so we did that. And the last time we did it, I was like, this kid's grown like 2 inches.
I know. It's so sad to actually see it like
He's
that. I don't
so
like it.
tall.
Yeah. That's what happened when we came back from Cabo. Even like Whitney was like, I've been with Reverie like all week, but did she not get like really tall for you guys? I was like, no, she's like a giant now.
Girl,
She's like, yeah, because
same.
I kept putting like pants on that I swore I put on her last week that didn't fit her, and now they're like above her ankle. It was crazy.
Yeah, so
1 week.
So same, but Xochitl wasn't with him all week. And then came and she hugged him and she goes, he's so big. And I was like, I know. She loves him so much and he loves, I'm going to cry right now. Shut up.
I know. No, that's my favorite. That's our wit too. Like, she is, if anyone were to ever be like, Brent did that, like just in like passing, and then he catches himself now more often because I get really upset if he's like, oh yeah, like the girl's nanny. I'm like, that's like, she's not a nanny. She runs our life. She runs our household. Our household would not function without her. Like, my parents, like, if we're gone, like, are like, they would never ask us, like, what a routine is, or like, where's this and where. It's Whitney.
Yeah.
If Brent's like at the grocery store needing something, do you think he messages me to ask like what we're at? No. Like, we would not function. We would not survive without her. She's our like literally everything to us. I love her so much, and she's a great friend too. Like, she's not just like and that's
she's
like, so
she's
important.
like been with you for so much longer too. Like we've only had Xochitl for a year, and I'm just like, I love her so much.
Yeah, you don't ever want to like get rid of them, like people.
Oh no, I
people,
will
or
absolutely
like people like that. Yeah,
well, I will never.
we said that too. It was like she was called to like go back to her teaching position a couple days ago, and she called me and was like, like, we did this last year, like, and I was like, no, I was like, I wasn't freaking lying last time. I'm like, you are staying with me forever. Specifically, I'm like, when the kids, like, when Reverie's like finally able to go to school, I can't wait, because then you're just coming with me everywhere I need to go. We're going to London, I need Wit. We're going here, I need Wit.
Well, yeah,
like,
why
you're
wouldn't
not
you just
leaving me.
Because then she could be like your assistant / like house manager too.
That's all I want. That's all I want for her.
I would fucking love that, man.
And I just want to give her the world. I just want to give her everything she deserves in life. Like, I'm just like, I'm obsessed with her. Anyways, that was an emotional tangent.
Yeah, I've already told Tony. I was like, I wish I could pay Xochitl more, so because she has like 3 jobs. I told him, I was like,
know.
she's the hardest working person I've ever known in my life. I was like, but I wish I could pay her like double what I do, so that she wouldn't have to go to another job, and that I could just have her for like 3 more hours than I do. Because I mean, I only have her from 9:30 to like 3 every day, which is great. I love it because then it forces me to like not work. But yeah, I just I was like, because then I could have her till like until like 5. Like, she could go pick up the kids and like drop them off at home, because her kids one's in 6th grade and one's a freshman in high school, and they live right down the street. She said, she's like, yeah, from my balcony she's like, I can see if you take out the golf cart. And I was like, I'll come get you.
Let's go.
Yeah, right now.
Those are goals though. So when everyone says like things, like, I always think about this too with people on social media, and they'll be like, oh, like, you have like people working for you, and that's got to be like, it's looked at as like a status thing, and of course, like, in some certain like situations it is.
It's for
definitely
us a huge privilege. Yeah,
it's a privilege for sure. For us, like, it worked out where like that was, yes, it was like a little bit more, but it was like way worth it, as opposed to like going to like childcare and like less hours and like not having like the security. But it also goes to show, like, when you have like a team and you have people who support you and are there and work for you to do the job that you do, they don't do that for free. So when people are just like, oh, you're an influencer, you're this, you make so much money, like, don't try to like say like you don't have it. It's like, yes, like, on paper we would, but then when you take in like to account the people who allow us to do our job, that like, we're not stiffing people. Like, I think you're getting paid there. We have like not to be all like teamy, but like there are people behind everything that allow us to do what we do.
I said that earlier today to Tony, because he This man does not spend any money. And then when he told me how much money he has in one of his accounts, 'cause I was like, oh, I need this and this and this and this from, for taxes, so I can give it to my accountant because, hey, we had to file an extension because I was late on everything.
Oh my
And
God, don't even get me started, please. Don't. It's going to stress me out.
But we were talking about that, and he was like, okay, so here I sent you this, and I looked at it, and I was like, I need you to never look at my business bank account. And he's like, babe, like it is a business though. And I was like, Tony, I got so many transactions. And he's like, yeah, but he's like, but babe, like, I was like, I got $4. I have $3. But like, it literally, yes. And like, if you look, like I get paid last, like everyone else gets paid first. And
yes, of course.
Girl, when we got back, and like, it's, and when you're waiting on invoices,
they get you. That's where they get you. You're like, oh, that's coming in. I'm good. And then they're like, just kidding. 6 months later.
But it's just so crazy because it's like, I even told Ethan, because he's still part of our team, we're going to have the GoFundMe for him and his wife linked down below. An update. Mm-hmm. She is home.
I was just okay, good.
And she's coherent. She's self-aware. She's in a lot of pain, but it's the road to recovery. We're going. So please, if you can share it or can give, please do, because he has to take care of her. He's taking care of the baby. They have their daughter is like 6 months old, little Dessa, and it's so hard. And I even told him, I was like, buddy, I got no deadline here. Work when you can, please, but. I told him, I was like, hey, I'm sorry, like I have $87 in my bank account right now, like I can't. So I was like, I'm paying you on this day, I promise. But because I had to pay for so many other things and just waiting for like other things to come in, and I did get a tankless water heater because I kept running out of hot water. So our house is old as but
yeah, you were saying that,
yeah, and then hurricane damage that like we still have to have had get done. So it's just funny how people are like, you're so rich, blah blah, and it's like I had $87 in my account. Like
I'll show you.
It's yeah, I will show you the text between me and Ethan. He was laughing and he was like, I get it, man, it's okay. I was like, all right, thanks. I did pay him. Just so you know, I did pay him. I make sure everyone is paid even when I am not. Okay.
I know. And no, I like that. I like being able to be transparent with people, because that was something that I always wondered too. Like when I would like see people that I watched, and you don't, I guess, like, unless you do it, like, you don't even like know how to gauge where like things would be at anyways. But there's like like you've got a misconception in your mind of like, oh, like if they're over 100,000, like they've got a plaque or they've got like this, and it's like, it doesn't work like that. It's based on views. It's based on like things not getting monetized. It's based on brands that don't want to pay you, and then you've got, thank God now finally we have people fighting for us to like get our payments and don't have to like deal with that. But
Did I tell you the email I sent to the accounting team?
No.
I was like, hey guys, do I have to take a baseball bat to the CEOs to the accounts payable departments of these brands? Because I will. I need we need to hunt these people down because I need to get paid.
That's what happens though. I think one of the first people that I ever saw that was transparent about that was Samantha Randival. I love her so much. I wish she would like come back more. I love her so much. Fellow Canadian queen. But she did say that, and I saw that very early on, like when I started YouTube, and I always like had that in my mind. And then when it actually happened to me, where it was like, no, like the contract does say like 30 days and it was like 90, I was like, no, yeah, Samantha did say that. Like, like they don't care. You gotta chase people down. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It's not as glamorous. You do have to become very like a little bit. I've become a little bit more like Bradley. I'm Bradley on a budget. I'm like, okay, I do like, just because like you see something that's not a lot of like allocated for, and then also you do have like people who allow you to do the job that you like, the job that we want to do, and support us to be able to do it, and they are top tier before us.
100%.
That's the glamorous transparency behind all of this, is what I can say.
And hey, if talking about like numbers and figures makes you uncomfortable, I don't know, man, go to therapy, figure it out, because that it has.
I needed to.
It has.
I needed to.
Same. I did. It was.
Yeah, I
It
think
was
we
a
talked
lot.
about that early on in the podcast too. That could be a
Yeah.
whole thing too. Maybe we'll do a Patreon on that about our
It's just so
traumas with
interesting to
that.
talk
But
about because it's like these are numbers, man. And I've always said to them, like, if anyone's ever like, oh, you're bragging, blah, 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 it's like, oh, so off-putting. I'm like, hey, no, it's not. I've literally said multiple times, like, you, like, you can't take it with you. And that's one thing we've
Mhm.
always said too, me and Tony, that we're like, no, we're gonna go on this trip. We're gonna, buy the things we want to buy and not be crazy, but like the things that bring us joy and get things we want. And now we're going on more trips, but do experiences and stuff like that. And what's the point? Like how we said with Bradley, like no offense, Bradley. Not that you're watching, but no offense. Hope your eye feels better. But like you have like all this money and it's like for what? What's it gonna go to? Nothing. Nothing.
yeah. Yeah, the account's not like growing exponentially. It's like we know it's coming in to be able to like spend a little bit more to like, yeah, like for me, it's always trips. It's like experiences. And I would
Yeah.
so much rather like do that than anything else, than hoard it. I
And
mean, it's nice
you're
to
never
like
gonna regret it.
get to a point. Yeah. Yes. Yes, that is like my big thing. If it's a trip or an experience, like a concert, there's never a time where you're like, we shouldn't have gone and done that. Ah, damn it, we should. I have been like back in the day, like such a concert goer. There have been times I had no business going to like a Bruno Mars concert, but I did. To this day, do you think that it was not worth me eating tuna and like pasta for like 2 weeks until the paycheck came in?
God,
Absolutely
you and
not.
Carly are so similar. I know I always say that, but like she'll be like, oh man, looks like it's peanut butter sandwiches for the next month. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, Carly. But it's true. I mean, she's like, how do you think that I have both my kids in private school and like that I just bought a new car and like that my house is huge? She's like, because guess what? It actually isn't the nice job that I
I'm
have.
house poor.
She was like, it's because I've been, she's like, it's because I've been wearing the same pair of leggings for
Yeah,
20
and I think
years.
I love that conversation though too, because I think like people's you kind of like learn more like about like where people's like priorities and things are.
And it's
For
okay for you to
instance,
have different
again, we're going,
priorities. That's okay.
of course, 100%. Like going back to Bradley, the man has not had a new towel for fucking 15 fucking years.
Bradley.
He has done other things. It's not like he's just like sitting in his apartment. He like prioritizes things and
Yeah.
figures out like where, and even with like our friends and us, like there are certain things that we are way more willing to like spend money on as opposed to like, tighten up the purse strings. And I think throughout like a lot of years of me like figuring out a healthy relationship with money, that's gone like up and down. And now I've become like more like Carly, where it's like I will wear the same leggings for like, it's more Brent loving to do a shopping spree all the time for like mostly the girls or me and not himself. And I'm like, babe, I'm good. Like I like this. This is my style. Like I don't need more. I would
Yeah.
rather, like save and like
Yeah.
go on the trip or
Yeah, I've been trying
but
to
you've got to figure it
do
out,
that
right?
too. And like shop my own closet and stuff or I'll like have something in my cart on Amazon. And then I'm like, Chelsea, you don't need that. You 100%
I know
don't.
I love the save for later. My Amazon cart save for later is ridiculous.
That's safe.
But I think that's good.
It's diabolical.
It is.
And
then, but I love it because then I'll go back and I'll look like a year later and it'll like, something will be in there. I'm like, what the was that? Thank God I didn't press buy now.
What's it?
I don't need that.
No, tell me right now what's
Let's
in yours
do it.
right now.
Okay, hold on. I should ask Kelsey because mine is still like logged in on her laptop at home. So she like randomly messaged me and be like, Jesus Christ, I went to go check out and I was like, what the hell is going on here right now?
Oh my God. Are you ready?
What is it?
Okay, I have a Sony A7 III full frame mirrorless camera for just under $2,000, which by now that one is outdated. So let's go ahead and delete that because that's also.
Let's take it off.
Take
it off.
This is healthy. I also have Wagner's.
Hey, you guys, let's all pull out the phones, okay? Everybody pull out your phones and let's go through what we can take out.
Okay, therapy. I'm also going to remove the Wagner's Deluxe Treat Blend Wild Bird Food because I got rid of my bird feeder.
Okay.
Simple Joys by Carter's Baby 3-pack short sleeve t-shirt it's in size 6 to 9 months. I think we're past that.
You're past it, babe.
We are
Oh,
100%
I'm at
past
the
it.
end. Oh my god.
What?
I don't even know how many years back this is. Okay, one of mine is a petticoat hoop skirt.
No.
It must have been for a Marie Antoinette. It's got to be for a Marie
it has
Antoinette
to be
costume.
for that. That's the only thing you've done that would have had that in the last, like, what, 2
Yeah.
years?
Yeah, it didn't come through. And then I've got a vegetable container for the a series of oh, this was when I was trying to be like Khloe Kardashian.
The home edit.
Doing all like the
home edit stuff.
all
Murders Without Bodies. Thank God Jenna
What's
gave me
that?
that book. Now I can remove that.
okay.
Grey's Anatomy.
Oh. A Serene Luxury bucket towel warmer for $122.
Oh, I see someone has been watching Jackie Ina's Lavishly Jackie page.
Holy shit. That's amazing.
A one-sleeved velvet, like a bell sleeve with feathers on the end, a dress. I actually bought this already. It's in my closet, so I'll take this off. A ring display holder with detachable tiers. We're gonna delete that. Frida Baby heating pad. He doesn't need that. He put mine on.
I've got some Hello Kitty packing cubes and then the thing that goes around your luggage so you could find it easier. Awesome. Oh, this is my favorite one. Off. It's unavailable. I did have this in here for like a year for next summer at the lake. It's a pool candy splash runner, motorized pool lounger. So you sit in it and then you can just motorize it. We will keep that in there. Oh my God. I had one.
Do you want a cheetah statue? No. Oh. What about 2-piece mini retro pure copper snail figurines?
I will one up you with a cardboard cutout of Clark Griswold and the hat of Uncle Eddie, Cousin Eddie.
I'll have some of the yellow. What about a Freddy Krueger glove?
I already have it. I planned on bejeweling it. Okay, what about a egg incubator to take the eggs from the grocery store and see if any of them will hatch, but underneath it is a stand and a sit mobility chair aid for the couch so that my grandma could get up off of my couch. But someone else already got it.
What do y'all have going on over there? A kid's couch, an air filter opening grate, which is hideous. We're going to delete that. Photocopy paper. Oh my gosh.
I have a lot of Philadelphia Eagle stuff in here. A lot of Philadelphia Eagle stuff in here.
These. You serious, Clark?
Yes.
Save the neck for me, Clark.
Okay, so that could go with the cutout. What about a waterproof tub massaging bubble mat that makes your bathtub into a jacuzzi?
You want to send me that? Yeah, send me that. A glam core. Actually, I need one of those.
I was just gonna say I'm looking at mine right now, babe. You
want some ball pit balls or some foam clay, a sexy nighty, an X-Acto
We did do
knife.
the foam ball. Oh no, that was not fun. It was so stressful.
7 different Chelsea Handler books, blackout curtains.
I probably have them all.
Yep, same. Blackout curtains, and then 7 different outfits for London, a bunch of packing stuff. Oh, I can get rid of that one. And then my last thing is the microphone flags, the mic flags.
Oh, they're on Amazon. I love that.
They're like blank ones, and then I was just going to print out the sticker, like design it and print it out.
I have a Black & Decker cocktail maker machine.
Black & Decker cocktail maker machine?
Yeah, you put the booze in, and then it's almost like a Keurig, like the coffee maker, but it like pre-does the cocktails for you. So that one is not getting deleted, you guys. Well, that was fun.
I had a great time. Honestly,
I hope everybody
let
us know also what you guys saved and deleted.
Yeah. So quickly, before we head over to the bone zone, to the bonus episode,
I'm so excited to talk about the bonus episode.
You guys, over on Patreon.
You guys, I'm telling you right now, if you have been sitting on the Patreon, I'm telling you right now, today's I think is it's a good one. If you like the cheater talk, because this is like we do. This is one we've got footage of the wife confronting her husband's lover at the house, and the lover was a man. And this was her finding out through a pinned location. And then the lover.
Did he know?
The gay lover.
No, don't tell me. No, stop.
The gay lover assaults the wife. It's all caught on camera. So that's what we're doing over on Patreon tonight.
Also, though, like, hey, babe, why are y'all fighting? Fight the husband.
He was in his underwear. He was actually he's in like a long t-shirt that cuts just above the knee and then flashes her like his undies and stuff. No, it's crazy. It's crazy. So we'll be over there.
What brand of meth is that? That's crazy. So yeah, we'll be over there at patreon.com/herefortheclout. And then in, I think, next week's episode, we're going to review the infomercial.
Oh yeah. I think one of my favorite comments from the episode that we did over on the Patreon was, you neurodivergent gremlins, but she spelled it gemlins, and then was like, that was supposed to be gremlins, but I think gemlins. And then it was like, you forgot the infomercial. And we were like, that's next. I feel like we kind of did, but like it was also hard for us to like download, and then we found it later. It was hard for us to do that whole episode.
Hard. Oh my God, that's what he said. So yeah, but so go over there in a second. Because we're almost done here. But we will go over more stuff over there. You get lots of things over there. It's absolutely wonderful. However, inventing Elizabeth, we're back. So it's crazy because like I want to do like an entire episode on her, but then like we can't because I can talk about it till I'm literally dead. But the thing is like we're doing something bigger with it, you know? Does that make sense?
That's what we figured. Like we were like, hey, when Chelsea sent the update the other day about like Tuesday's episode, it was because we were like starting to like, at this point we thought we were deep and then like scratching the surface. And it was like there, like it wasn't even scratching. Like we haven't even like remotely like touched it. We have so many more people who have now reached out who want to be involved in this. And it's literally impossible to do like an episode here on it because there are so many people who want and deserve to have their story told like in different segments. Like you think that like her husband, his like 50-part Risa Tisa style story time about her is a lot. Like there are so many other people who have that and want to be a part of this. So that's what we're working on.
But so that you can get excited about it too with what we're doing and literally attempting to produce a limited podcast series about it. But with Elizabeth Takenbrook, Gesundheit. So with that, how do I want to well, okay, so where everything started basically for you, me, and everyone in between was that she went viral on TikTok for a video of her essentially crying and saying like, oh, I'm making like my own birthday cupcakes or own birthday cake on whatever, and trying not to show my kids that I'm crying or something like that. And everyone was like, oh my God, what? Why? That's so sad, blah, 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 blah. And then she was basically saying like, I escaped the domestic violence situation, whatever. And I say whatever because I personally don't think that that's true anymore. Might be a bit crazy as well, but I don't know.
I would be too though. And we will get into that as well.
But then the husband started posting videos and like going on live, and it was just very much so like, okay, buddy, what are you doing? And then he published this website where he was just like, basically imagine you're just throwing spaghetti at a wall, and it's like, okay, well, those are noodles, but I want them on my plate, buddy. I'd like to consume them. Don't throw them over there.
It looks good, but we don't know like where it's supposed to go, like, and how to make sense of it. It was just court documents, like like receipt, text, screenshots of text messages, like, but there was no like context or anything. We're just like, what does this mean? What was the backstory behind that? Like, it was so confusing.
Well, so it made him look crazier. And so
Yeah,
it
it
kind of
did.
really built into and backed up her claims. And a bunch of people were like, wow, he is really crazy. And then, if you don't know, she's not from here, but she lives in Tampa.
She's
She
from
used to live in
Indiana.
South Tampa, and she's from Indiana, just like the Music Man. Well, he wasn't from Gary, Indiana, but he went to Gary, Indiana. And so, God, I can't. So we have a big presence of crazy people here, but more specifically, Scientologists. Now, the Scientologists are across the bridge from us. We don't go there. We don't do that. But realistically, if any, like, people down here, we know, like, if anyone says, oh, that person's a Scientologist, okay, cool, I'm not going to believe anything they say, and they're crazy. So I think that she used that. And by the way, I don't believe he's a Scientologist, because he has said he
No.
isn't multiple times. And if you say you are not a Scientologist, and you are, you'll probably get skinned alive or murdered or put in a bunker somewhere by them. So
I'm telling you right now, if he was a Scientologist, this wouldn't have happened to him. He
Correct.
would have had a way easier time, like, exposing her fraud and
Yeah.
cons and scams if he was a Scientologist, if we're going to be serious right now.
And
this
if
guy, I felt so sorry for him so many times. I'm like, Andrew, Jesus Christ, like, you just did not have a hope in hell. She saw you a mile away and you bought it hook, line, and sinker. And if you were a Scientologist, it wouldn't have happened.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, Lord. And also, she isn't a Scientologist, so they wouldn't, if he was, they wouldn't have gotten married. And
well, we know that she wasn't either, because she had to look. We have the Google search records now around that time that she accused him of Googling and like wondering like things about Scientologists, and then like making a post right then to like try to make that fit the narrative.
But the crazy thing is, though, too, is that the website that he put up, Scientologists are notorious for doing that. So when I saw it and I saw the website, I was like, that checks out. So I think she, it was very lazy, but I think it worked in her benefit. And it was just
At the time.
Yes. It was just luck, honestly. So now, a year has gone by, and more people have come out and said, hey, this person scammed me too. And she has been accused of faking cancer multiple times, at least twice. And now, I believe for like 2 months now, he's been coming out with multiple different episodes, clips, series, whatever, the Risa Tisa of it all on TikTok. And he's just really putting all of it out there. And it's so long and it's so crazy. And it does get a little sidetracked and a little diluted and a little repetitive here and there. But it's also like, I get that, but we need to just sit and listen to all of it. No, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. But the storyline, whatever, it is very important. So we have gone through all of that, and I posted about it too. And I live in this area. I drove by the house that she used to live in. Now she doesn't live there. But I had always said, even back when it happened before, I was like, how the did she afford that house? And I sent them the listing for it. The rent for it was over $5,000. And I sure as can't. And I was just like, she has to be renting, because she doesn't have a job. She's not buying a house over there. And like, even me, like, let's just say this house is not over there. This house I grew up in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
We'll say that. That's the goal, to get back there. So I was always so weirded out. I was like, how the is she affording this? Doesn't make any sense. I think she got evicted out of the house. I don't know, but there are just so many things.
Oh yeah, there's court records. She's already, that was the recent one. I saw that landlord like took her whatever to like eviction, and then she abandons things as well. That's another thing that we're like learning. She has been evicted basically from like every single property that she has been in, and then that's what was happening like with Andrew's too. So like when you go like through his things, he's like, I had never been in this situation where, like she's telling me like, oh, this was already like prepaid, the damage deposit, the first month, the last month, the whatever, and telling me everything, but then we're getting eviction notices on our door.
But then she's making fake emails from the leasing
from the
office.
property manager saying, oh, everything's fine. And he's like, where's the money? Like, what are you talking about? And then she's just not paying. It's insane. Like, to actually have gone through his series, going through the court records, like No. Oh, now you want to talk to me, Siri. F off. She never wants to talk to me. But going through the series and then looking at the court documents and like cross-referencing things about how long she has done this and how many people are on those titles too with her, or like lease agreements too. And those are just the people who decided to go and take it to court. Not the people who are just like, let's just like wash our hands, which you're finding out. Like you have personal connections to this now.
So I have quite a lot of personal connections with people who have been allegedly scammed by her. So for instance, I posted today multiple times on TikTok, on my Instagram. She blocked me. If I was her, I'd block me too, girl. But she crazy. So I had multiple people reach out to me. And one thing that I did do, like I said in my TikTok, I looked at the people who I like, our mutuals of who follows her. And because I keep my personal life and like the socialite of it all and whatever, like I keep that very separate from my job, and they like never intermingle basically. And so today was really one of the first times that ever happened. And I messaged someone and I was like, girl, why do you follow her? Do you actually know her? And she was like, oh my God, yeah. And oh Lord. And so my friend Erin, who I've known since middle school, one of the most beautiful women I've ever met and had the pleasure of being around in my goddamn life. And her husband's real hot too. I love them, and both of them, her mostly. But she said, she's like, yeah, so my husband's cousin was talking to her during this time frame, and apparently what she did with their cousin was like the whole like damsel in distress thing of it all. You know, it seems like that's her go-to, and that's why I kept making
pattern. Yeah.
Well, I kept making the joke. I was like, does this girl have beer flavored nipples or something? Not to quote my favorite movie, but
What is it with this chick? She have beer flavored nipples?
does she?
R.I.P. Heath.
He would have hated this.
I don't want to talk about
He would have hated her for sure.
For sure.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy. And apparently she said to him that her ex, that she was, you know, in a DV situation or had just escaped one, and that he had frozen all of her accounts. Now keep in mind, during Andrew, the ex-husband's tell-all, he has said multiple times that they have always had separate accounts, which
that's why he never knew like what was coming and going.
And all of that checks out, right? Yeah. And so she's like, yeah, he froze all my accounts and like I don't have any money. And it's like, okay. And
she also said that to the newest boyfriend also about Andrew, Sam. Because when they correspond, Sam. So because then Andrew has like messages between Sam and him saying the exact same thing. And he's like, yeah, buddy, like I have been hearing this like for so long. It's not true. Like you're getting swindled. Like, and he's like, I'm figuring that out now. I have so much to tell you. That's her story.
Well, too bad, buddy. You took her to Maui. Lord. So yeah, she apparently said that like he froze all of her accounts and she had to like go to like the eye doctor or something and needed to get like a surgery or like exams done, something medical. And it was when I first talked to them this morning, they were like, yeah, that he said that it was like $10,000. And then she talked to him again to like fact check herself. And she was like, hey, I talked to her cousin again and it wasn't 10,000. It was closer to 20,000. And apparently he was like, yeah, I was going to take her to small claims court. And I guess like, because I threatened that, she then like gave me back a little bit of it, but like, that's it. And he's like, I just wanted to be done with it. Like, I didn't want to. And my question is,
I think that's been her thing so long. I think that has been it, like, because there is so much when you look, but I knew like there are holes. Like this is going back into what I can find, like 2014 and up until now. And it's like for that much to be there. And that's not even like Andrew or like anybody that we've spoken to. These are just like people who have actually not even gone public yet.
Yeah,
that I was able to like see.
And that's why I keep saying like the iceberg is so deep and there's so many things that like y'all don't know and haven't heard of. And I've said multiple times, I'm like, what is out there is probably around like probably 10% or less. And you know, the people that I know that have been scammed by her, I've gotten so many texts and emails and DMs, and someone DM'd me today and they were like, you need to talk to this person. And I was like, okay, I'll try to find and like, I have met this person before, like at an event, and then like talked to was like working with their girlfriend, not working with her, but like now ex-girlfriend, whatever. And I even DM'd her today and I was like, hey, do you have any experience with this person? And she's like, no, but you're not the first person to ask me about her. And I was like, oh, and she's like, yeah, I've heard that she scammed a lot of people. Like, I'm sorry I couldn't help more, blah, blah. And then, you know, was wanting, I was like, oh, well, thank you. Like, send me the link for like your latest charity event, whatever, and I'll donate or be a sponsor or something. And, but the thing is like those specific people, like this girl and then her now ex-boyfriend, but when they were together, they were doing a lot of like charities and nonprofit stuff and events for, and like fundraising for domestic violence type organizations and all that. And apparently at these events, Elizabeth would go and like try to swindle people and like tell her
Promote
like
hers.
story and
That's why
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then now we know also, like, so if anyone's like questioning it and like you are hearing initially like her side of like running with that with Andrew, we now know based on her own search history from a computer that she abandoned and left that that was not true. There were bruise apps, which I didn't even know until I saw this like literally in real time like search history from like the person. I don't think that they've like said who they are, going through it and manipulating photos and placing bruises on her body.
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't be hard to do. You just have to do like
Oh,
some
they
discoloration.
show like how it like yeah, like they show
It's a mask or a PNG or whatever. Like it's not hard to do that. Is it fucked up? Absolutely, it's horrible. But I mean that's
well, and even the search like how to add a bruise. Then from there like clicking on that and then downloading that app.
yeah.
Like all of this is there. So that's why, because I would not. We have stayed away from this for so long, not like spoken about it. You were even like in semi like friendly interactions with her, like hearing her
I wanted
side
to
of
interview
things.
her, and I really
Yes, of
wanted to
course.
back in the day. And then she was like trying to start her own podcast, which I guess she did like a few episodes of, and then it went nowhere.
He's taking her to court. She f***ed him over as well. That's her latest. Her latest court record right now is or filing is from him against her. And I think the girl that she was roommates with, who now like thought that she was like, you know, best friends with, also you'll have to ask Rachel about, because I think they were all running in that circle together.
Yeah.
And now she's blaming the latest eviction where she abandoned the dogs, and the police found these dogs abandoned in this apartment, just in disarray, dog feces and, you know, piss everywhere. She just left them. Left them.
I'm surprised she hasn't done that to her kids yet. Oh, wait. Anyways, so I had...
There's so much. So we did think that we were going to make just like an episode recapping everything. That we just can't. Like we can't. I know that Jesse and Lily did, and I think that that's like a great place just to like go for now. It's a great place to go always.
Always.
But if anybody's like curious about like what we're talking about and kind of like at least like get an outline of like what's out there now from the main characters who have spoken publicly, go there.
Also, though, if you want to know, I messaged her last Thursday and I said, hi, Elizabeth, do you have availability for an in-person interview? And then yesterday, right before noon, I said, hey, again, my co-host and I will be covering all of the current situation on this week's podcast, and we want to give you a chance to clear everything up. Oh, I meant to say and tell instead of until. That southern drawl coming out. So that people can actually see the full picture, even if it's just a phone call conversation with you that I can include in the podcast episode. I think that would be really helpful. She said, what are the questions? First you said, what are the equations? I don't know, bitch, you tell me. Then she said, she corrected herself and said, what are the questions? And I said, LOL, you answered too quick with a laughing face. Although I do appreciate it. I'm at a doctor appointment right now, but when I get home, I'll go ahead and prep the questions and review them with my co-host and then send them over. And I said, I know it's super short notice, but are you still in the Tampa Bay, or are you still in the South Tampa area? I am. I'd love to meet up with you tomorrow. And she said, I am not. I am traveling. Okay. I said, okay, I'll finish writing up the questions and send them over. And then I sent them over, and it was, and we'll screenshot them and have them up here. And first one, within the last 2 years, you were promoting and selling tickets for a nonprofit gala. It doesn't seem like this event ever materialized. Did you refund the ticket? Was the organization hosting the event a genuine nonprofit, meaning had it received 501c3 status from the IRS as it was promoted and advertised? It has been alleged by multiple people in South Tampa that you have borrowed money and ran off. Is there any truth to this? Specifically, a local man, Mr. Powell, claims that you swindled him out of over $400,000. And another man in 2023 says that he gave you over $10,000 that you needed for eye doctor bills but never paid back. And then I asked, currently, what is your main source of income? That's a valid question. And then Are you able to provide any of the surgeons' names or specialists you've allegedly seen at TGH, which is Tampa General Hospital? It is an award-winning hospital we have here in Tampa, Florida. Wow, if only there was someone who was one of the committee chairs for the TGH Gala almost every year who has those connections and could ask those surgeons these types of questions.
Is that HIPAA?
Not if you get them drunk enough. Also, no, because I'm just kidding, obviously. They would never do that. But also, if she is claiming that she had a surgery here.
Oh, she said multiple, and she was doing...
And it was always TGH.
She did her appendix,
always
TGH. Her cancer.
Yep.
Yes.
If she has said that multiple times.
Cancer and everything, yeah.
Hell yeah.
And they can say
no.
This is what really, like, spun it for me when I was more like, oh, Andrew, yeah, okay, I'm gonna listen to what you have to say, is because when she's got, like, thinks she has receipts, like, she's quick to, like, show them. Now we know the extent of, like, her doctoring of, like,
those forwarding
records
emails, girl.
Capability. Yeah, forwarding them and then photoshopping, whatever. And Andrew shows exactly, like, how she was doing it. But so when she's trying to, like, when she was earlier trying to disprove him, because again, he was chaotic. He didn't know what he was doing. We didn't know what he was doing. It was easier to, like, disprove him. So she was like, oh, like, this was my check. This was, like, my patient, like, records here. And then now, like, looking back at it, it's like, babe, that makes no sense. Like, also, you were quick to show that when you had nothing. You know what I mean? Like, when you know you're not lying, you're like, here's the receipts.
Yeah.
When you are, it's like all of a sudden, that's my privacy. But you put it all out there. You put everything that you had out there. Now all of a sudden, you don't want to answer. And I think that that's where Rachel, who you're going to speak to next week, that was one of the biggest, fractures in that relationship, because she's like, babe, just, like, please, like, I need this because people are asking me, like, can you tell me the doctor? Can you show me something? She couldn't.
Well, and it's different when it's like, I've addressed this multiple times and I've put this out here multiple times. There's a difference between that and then people asking you and hounding you for things and just being like, I've talked about this. I'm sick of this. Like, you go find the information. It's out there.
Yeah, and go look where I've already shared it. Yes,
exactly.
Like, go there, as opposed to being like, I don't want to.
Instead of what she said to me when...
Oh, yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, and then also, are you able to provide any proof of the previous claims that your ex-husband is a Scientologist? Because I'm 100% sure that's not true. Bitch, I've been kicked off the Scientology property. I know too much about them, okay? Also, that's not hard to do. You literally stand in a spot they don't like. And then I said, that's it for now. I'm sure once we talk to Andrew, we will want to circle back. Because I've been, I don't need to explain my manipulation to you guys. You guys get it. I bet there's gonna be bitches in the comments like, oh girl, see what you did. And then I sent a voice note just like kind of saying that the same thing or whatever. And anyways, so she responded and said, can you provide context on the $10,000 in 2023? Who is this? Because no. Now the thing is that I sent that.
I died over this. I died over that because out of everything else, the 400,000. Well, bitch, we already know because it's on body cam and we have everything out there that you already swindled that poor old man and said you had cancer. And then it was like, she's like, oh, this one hadn't gone public yet. Yep. So she's like not wanting to own it.
But here's the thing is that
caught her off guard.
It did. South Tampa is very, very, very small. Whenever anyone says, oh, wow, small world, my response, and it's here in South Tampa, my response is always, nope, South Tampa is just really small. And it is. My mother and father always taught me, you better be nice to everybody and conduct yourself in a way that reflects well on this family, because you don't know who is related to who. Girl, there could be a Casper family member sitting next to you. They own majority of the, she just got boned up because I said Casper and she loves that one white kid from it. But no, they own like almost all the McDonald's in this area. Or
my only clout.
You got more than that. Shut up. And then there's, the DeBartolos who were crazy wealthy. And there's like so many, and it's like this guy could like so many that have so much pull. You don't know who's who. You don't know who's friends with who. And you need to be nice to everybody. Also, just don't be of course, don't be a pushover or whatever, be assertive, all that. But like, conduct yourself well and it'll pay off. Also, don't be a fake bitch. But still, like, It's crazy. But the reason why, and I've said this to so many people I've been talking to lately today, because it's been insane, is that she's been able to get away with this, in my opinion, because people don't, like we see on my channel, people are rightfully so embarrassed about getting scammed, don't want to talk about it. And especially, and listen, South Tampa is a very financially prominent and well-to-do area, and some people can be assholes and be judgy. But guess what? This autistic asshole is more of an asshole, and it is not okay to do this to people. And the people she's doing it to, in my opinion, the people she's doing it to are good people and are people who want
They're preying
to
on the
help.
story that she's feeding on and believing it. It's the DV, it's cancer. It's that she said that her oldest child, like before she was even saying that she had cancer, made a GoFundMe saying that he had cancer. Like this goes so far, so deep. It's crazy. And it doesn't just start in Tampa. Like it starts in Indiana. Like we haven't even gone to that area yet to ask for people to come forward. We probably don't need to really at this point.
No, we
because
don't.
we have
No, 'cause
enough
it's,
right now of the current.
yeah. And also, like, I'm not trying to fly there and be boots on the ground there. Listen, I'll be boots on the ground here, baby girl. And I have been. So anyways, she asked about that, and I'm like, you want the name. I'm not giving you the name. I'm going to protect this person.
Yeah.
So I said, according to what has been alleged, this man interacted with you at the end of December 2023 and continue to do so for 3 to 4 months. I will respect his privacy and keep him anonymous. She said, okay, I can't even say because I have no idea who you're speaking about. Elizabeth, what do you mean you can't even say? Answer the question. Did someone give you over $10,000 at the end of 2023? Hey, watch how easy it is. Hey, Sherilyn, did anyone give you $10,000 to help with medical bills at the end of 2023?
No.
Wow. Groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
and again,
literally
it goes back to when I was
not
like,
hard.
that we're still skipping, we're still skipping past the $400,000. She's like, oh, I remember that one. Who was the 10,000? That measly little 10,000 in 2023. I don't remember.
Oh my God, she doesn't
she's
remember because
diabolical.
she's scammed so many people.
That's it.
Oh my God.
She is diabolical.
That's insane. So then she responded, she took a whole lot of 4 minutes to make this conclusion and said, I don't think I will be doing this. It isn't in the best interest of my mental health and my kids right now. Hey, guess what? It has nothing to do with your kids. Also, though, maybe you should stop doing all this because it's going to reflect poorly on your kids. It would only be to appease people online, which is no longer my concern. But good luck with your interview with a heart. And I said, okay, we appreciate your time. And then
I love you. Okay, we appreciate your time.
I do. I mean, I
What's
appreciated
crazy
her
is she thinks that the interview is only Andrew, and she thinks she's been able to just like control the narrative with Andrew, even though it's like slipping through her fingers. And you can see that by her current updates of just being like, I'm taking accountability. Like, not everything that my husband has done or said is wrong. Like, I have done things. Like, so she's already like he had receipts. She played him for a fool and she thought he was an idiot and he saved shit. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to figure out how to use TikTok and I'm coming with receipts and I'm going to learn how to use AI and make little fake images. I love those. I hated them at first and then I just started dying each time.
No,
you guys
it
have to
was-
go to the story to see them.
So same. At first I was like, okay. And then it just kept going and it got super specific. And I was like, this is fierce, Andrew. Listen.
So good.
Work.
Like he's really trying out here.
Work,
She did
Andrew.
not, because he never had socials. Like for
I
a long
know.
time, he even says that in the series. He didn't even know when they were married when she was like talking, like she obviously told him that she like had cancer, but that she was like becoming this like mommy blogger, like getting donations
Apple
and stuff
cider
like
vinegar.
that to the
Yes.
yeah, to the extent because he wasn't on socials to like follow what he was saying, and then like she was lying about him adopting like her son, like just doing all of these like heart, like heart pull on your heartstring moments, and he's like, well, that was nice of you to say, but like I would like to. Is this like a opportunity for me to adopt this? Like, why are you lying?
Girl,
Because she just didn't think this man was gonna go on social media, and now he figured out how to work it, and she's exposed
and he figured out how to flip that thing over.
and reverse it.
Thank you. So then I posted this on my Instagram story. I also hid my story from her. And then I sat there and I was like, I should make it a reel. This took so long. It took literally like 4 or 5 hours to upload to my Instagram story. So then I was finally like, okay, I'm just going to put it on reels. And then of course it uploaded to both. I was like, oh, cool, awesome. Now I look like an idiot. No, Chelsea, that's not why you look like an idiot. So let's go ahead and watch this little call to action. Hello, friends. Good Lord. So
I love it.
it has a picture of her on the bottom, just like, and then captions in the middle, just because I, think that's better for people. And I said, please reach out to me if you have had interactions with more than Elizabeth. Well, she commented on it 4 hours ago while we were filming this video and said, what is wrong with you? Seriously, when is enough enough? Please leave me alone. And I pinned it because
the pin of shame.
Because it's me, obviously, I'm going to pin it. Someone said, well, did you do it, sis? Another person said, that's what all your scam victims said. You reap what you sow. And I said, it's called independent journalism, Elizabeth. I have not harassed you in any way. And I even had the courtesy to reach out to you for a statement and an interview, which you declined. Another person said, her saying, what's wrong with you is very ironic. Yeah,
This is the narrative, though, and we've seen it even. I think it's funny, too, because even like just us being in Andrew's stuff, like the past, 72 hours longer than that. We started this Friday night, like just like drinking our wine, being like, oh my God, what the hell is going on?
I've done so much while, like, what have you accomplished while you like, that's why we love that it's a series, because then it just keeps going, and then you have it in your ear and you're like, is he repeating himself? And you're like, oh no, I've been listening. I've hit the record scratching. I'm at the end of the road with this one.
Yeah, that would happen. Well, it would happen with me, but like, so what I did was when we were first talking about it on like Friday or Saturday, I don't even remember, but I was just listening to it. I was consuming it like a podcast.
Same.
And then I was like, that's when I learned, I was like, this is so much deeper. Because then from there, I was looking at the comments, and then I'm seeing that the dad's previous girlfriend who's had interactions with her since childhood is in there. Other friends, like there were so many people that were getting texts, and I was starting to go there. And I'm like, no, we need to go back and rewatch this. So for the past 2 days, it's just been me like sitting at my desk with my laptop, going back from the start of Andrew's stuff, and just like basically like re-narrating it like into like a, I don't know, like kind of like how I would do like an episode of like retelling a story. And then now like filling in the parts, I went back and I was listening to her story. So I have all of her stuff trying to like coincide with it, and now trying to fill in those gaps. Yeah. And then other friends from there, because it all like ties in. And once you look at it like this, it's like the Charlie Day meme where it's like he's like, yeah, Jay Kaya, you know what to do.
Yes.
That is what I've been feeling like the past 72 hours, because there's so much. And that's when Chelsea and I were like, listen, this is so much beyond like trying to recap.
So without, and that's kind of what I was saying too, because we've been, I love how like collaborative this has been with Jesse and Lily, and it always is whenever we can help each other out.
When we're doing the same thing, we're like, share your Google Doc. Do you have any timelines or whatever? We're all like freaking attached and tied to like everybody's Google Docs.
And that's like what I had said too, because I had mentioned before. I was like, he says like multiple things, and like some things aren't needed, but like it's just so long, and like the lore and the rabbit hole is so deep. Like you're forgetting what you're passing on the way down. You're falling so fast, and it's like, holy. She did what?
That's what I felt like when I listened to it. I was like, no, I need to redo this and sit with my laptop and like type it all out. It was getting like a repetitive and redundant, but I was like, no. And then you start with the screenshots, right? So then now I even told you, I'm like, I have over like 200 screenshots and videos and photos saved at this point.
Yes.
Because that's when you start seeing like the cross reference, and you just can't even keep up.
Yeah.
There's things that Lily got that I was like, missed a bunch of that, and like probably like vice versa for them, of being like, I didn't even catch that because I didn't even see that user.
Yeah. So Jesse and Lily are gonna be able to present all of the like publicly available information much faster than we are right now. But then so please, yes, go to
and cohesive.
Yes. Oh girl, we can all always tell it's gonna be real good when we don't hear from Lily. So don't worry. Hey, if an episode is late, which this one probably will be, but if an episode is late and you don't hear an update, girl's gonna be so good. But they also do have some more information from us too, and vice versa, whatever. But then also, like, we are having these interviews and, you know, the audio from people and all that. So you will get it faster from them. You will get it, let's say, like on like a more personal level, and maybe a bit more, maybe a bit deeper from us.
Yeah, a different side for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
like having
Definitely not Elizabeth's side.
apparently
So
not. We tried.
I sure did try. So for instance, there is okay, so Lily has this amazing timeline, all like it's beautiful. But
Oh, I know. She even put a spreadsheet. Ugh, I got really
it's
like a little bit moist.
horny.
Not gonna lie.
So horny. Paternity settlement, evicted. Okay, so many
evictions.
the
So many car dealerships as well that she just
girl. Yeah, so so even back in 2020 or 2015, bitch, that's the year I got married.
Yep.
Yikes, I was driving a Volkswagen Beetle that my father refused to let me get tint on because he said, "I see how you like to feed your car curbs." He was not wrong. I accidentally, and I do mean accidentally, rear-ended one of his lawyers with my Volkswagen Beetle.
Fuck's sakes, Chelsea.
Listen, that's what he gets. Also, he won my parents a pretty good amount from the Hilton. That's why we don't stay at Hilton's. We stay at Marriott's. Actually, we still do stay at Hilton's. That's a goddamn lie. Anyways, so that paid for my wedding. R.I.P. Linda's toe. It was real gross. A revolving door malfunctioned and went backwards and like broke her toe. It was disgusting. Girl, and they tried to say, "Oh, this ruined her modeling career." Linda, that's been over. What are you doing? What are you talking about?
Linda, I love you. You are a model, Linda. She is.
She sent me a video of a bunny
Lynn
today.
and Linda. Lynn and Linda. Icons.
Imagine how many prescription bottles. Okay, Lynn, be quiet. I love you. Okay.
No, she's like, yes. She like called me yesterday, definitely into a few cocktails, and she's like, "What was the guidance of Chelsea for photos? Nipples up? Is it shoulders back? Tummy in?" I was like, nipples up, and I couldn't remember the rest. Is it shoulders back, nipples up?
The trick is nipples to the sky. And I love
that
nipples. People are commenting that on all my pictures now.
Was that all it was? Because she thought there was more to it, and so did I.
So it depends. If I'm in person, I will tell you specifically what you need to do for what you're wearing. But the general one is nipples to the sky because it makes you arch your back in the right spot, and then automatically.
So then your shoulders automatically go
your
back.
shoulders automatically roll back, and then usually if you have that, nipples
is the
to
chin
the sky.
Down? I think because you don't want it up.
No, it's chin down, head angled a little bit, and press your tongue up against the roof of your mouth because then it sucks this in. And y'all want to know why I'm out of breath every time I'm done taking photos? That's why. It hurts. All right, so
I'll send her that clip. That was for Lynn.
Yikes. I love you, Mom. So 2015, literally a month apart, there were Joe's Auto Sales and then Harris versus whatever.
Yeah.
So
Joe's Auto Sales, I have that one.
Yeah, so there's judgments on because basically she owed almost $10,000 or over anywhere from $6,000 to $9,000 on these cars, and she had never made payments on these things. But then allegedly, and then girl, her dad co-signed, and his wages were
co-signed
garnished
for so many things. Yes, and that's one thing that I like when I was pulling up the court records. This man had co-signed, like you could see that it was like for about like 3 years that he had co-signed on things, like even apartment, like there was eviction things where he was the other person on the lease. And that's when I saw like his longtime like on and off girlfriend, like since they were 15 years old, comment and be like, he's a good man. Like to this day, she's like, her father is a good man.
Yeah.
And we tried, like even like, you know, like I would have doubts and say like this isn't adding up, and him like wanting to support, and of course he's wanting to like support his child, and like the amount of times like she like roped him into something and f***ed him over because his name was on it. And then again, you can think like what I thought was crazy too is it fit Andrew's story where he's hearing from her, oh, I have a lawyer, Lauren, that's going to take care of this. Because when they were getting evicted from things, she's like, no, it's been paid. I did pay it. It's like, we're fine. And then you're getting an email from the property manager being like, yeah, we got the check. It's fine. And so he thinks it's fine and it's going on. And then all of a sudden there's a eviction notice plastered on the door. So that was happening also with the dad. And so since she was already saying she had a lawyer friend, he's not following up he was corresponding with a lawyer, like via email with this lawyer corresponding with him. She was the fucking lawyer. So when you look at their court documents, which is crazy, they will have like the plaintiff and in the defendant's lawyer, all of them are fucking blank. So with Andrew, we already know from him that she's saying that she already had representatives, like, and it's all good and it's been paid and this is a misunderstanding. And then when I saw that as like a repeat pattern with her dad and stuff, I was like, that is so wicked. That is so fucking wicked that you probably said the same thing that you did to Andrew to your dad. And so these things are going to court and you're not even knowing. Andrew didn't even know that things were going to court. He's being told that it's settled on an email, so he misses the court date. No one went to the court date to figure out that this was the ruse. Mm-hmm. So all of them are blank, which I was like, even if you don't have money and you're getting like legal aid, if you go to court for something, someone's going to be in that fucking box. Like whoever that representative is that day, for the most part, unless you think like you're going to represent yourself. But all of them say...
If it's civil, then you don't. If it's criminal, then yes.
Yes, but if he thinks that he has a case to fight, which he did, like with Andrew's stuff, like with the equipment, with the...
Yes.
You would be told, we go to court this day, show up this day, plead your case, da-da-da. In those cases, it was like when that date came, first of all, he wasn't told the date. He was told by this lawyer, who we know now was her with fake emails and numbers. There was never like, oh, we have to show up this date and plead our case and show everything.
No.
So the plaintiffs had a court date, they show up, Andrew and her didn't. So it was like no one showed up for them. There was no lawyer to like file things for or anything like that. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, we're just like, in their mind, they were like, oh, they just didn't show up. They're scammers and they're
dismissed,
essentially admitting guilt, and it was dismissed.
Okay, so she had her first baby with is it her daughter was first or the son?
The son, I believe.
So she has an older son and then she has a daughter, and that's with the ex who apparently like is still under her spell, I guess. Mm-hmm. And that was May 2016, and then August 2017, and we're just gonna go through this rapid fire. Leave below, Andrew, we support you, but I'm sorry. I think we're sorry. We are sorry for what's happened to you. I think we support you. Mm-hmm. Jury's out.
No, I do.
Oh, then I do too. She has a better moral compass than I do. But yeah, just, babe, sorry. However, guys, leave in the comments support for him, sure. But then also, at what point
would you have pulled the pin? We talked about this, though. I've been in a similar situation where it was like when the spidey senses went and you were pretty deep in, you were like, I have a breadcrumb here. You're a fucking liar. Something's going on, and I need to get to the bottom of this. And do I keep you at arm's length to do that? Yeah, maybe for a little bit. And I did that for a while until the guy that I was with was at the foot of my bed when I had like kicked him out of the house.
Yes.
And I woke up to him watching me, and I was like screaming, and thank God, like my best friend's brother lived like in the apartment below and like ran up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. Because you're kind of like on like vindication. Like, I'm like, I know you're freaking lying and you're gaslighting me and you're manipulating me and you're a freaking liar.
Well, and also they do have 2 kids together. So then you have to think too, like, okay, she's capable of doing all these things. What else is she capable of? Like, what's going on? So continuing. So May 2016, she has a birth of her daughter, her second child, not with Andrew. And then August 2017, so a year after that, she meets Andrew, the now ex-husband. Spoiler alert, sorry. And then March, 8 months after, they get married. March 2018, they get married. Hey, guess what, buddy?
They got engaged in, so they met August, right?
Yeah.
I think. And they got engaged, Andrew said, in October. And then, like, so it was like that.
Andrew, does she have, I'm going to ask you.
Is it the
Beer-flavored
beer
nipples?
flavor nipples?
Clearly. So then the ex files for paternity 10 days after married, and no child support was awarded. And then clearly it was there. Yikes. So then 8 months after her and Andrew were married, foreclosure on his first home. Wonderful. And then he has a lease. We're gonna skip the lease dispute, all that of his business, because there's a lease dispute. And then 5 months after he was evicted from that, so then she isn't getting any money from her ex with the kid. And then Andrew and her, a year after they get married, a year after they get married, they have a child. Beer flavored nipples and overactive uteri. Let me tell you, can't relate. So don't be sad. Oh my God.
Oh, Chelsea.
Jesus Christ. So the reason why, one of the many reasons why we didn't have a Tuesday episode this past week, and why our bonus episode is late, I'm okay with saying this later in the episode, not right away, but Tony and I unfortunately did have a early miscarriage, and that sucks. Obviously, I don't want to diminish my feelings or anything like that, or try to like make people feel better and like apologize for your feelings, but I'm okay. Everything's fine. Tony and I are okay. We get through it with humor and all that, and it is not the right time at all. Could you imagine me pregnant in London? I would vomit all over you on top of the Eye of London. You would have hated it. And yeah, we're just not ready for that right now. I might be buying my husband a vasectomy for his birthday, and everything's fine. I'm okay. It was extremely painful. I'm very supported by my besties, and I was happy to throw myself into a lot of crafts and this bullshit. So yeah, I'm okay. Are you crying?
Yeah. No, I just think you're very strong, and you don't express like as much as like that. It probably like hurts, and like the whole experience of it all.
Sounds like you're doing like a YouTube apology video. Are we canceled?
Am I Laura Lee right now?
You're wearing white. I don't know.
Again, like I think like people think something of you like with a hard exterior and stuff like that, and you do, like even like when you're messaging me about certain things, like I'm like, hey, like get rest and stuff like that, but for you even to like say something to me and like communicate that you're in pain and this is what you think that you're going through and all of that, like that, you're not the type of person to like talk about the things if they don't genuinely upset you or hurt you. You stifle it as long as you can. And so if it's like something that is actually like truly painful physically and emotionally,
yeah,
for you to like say something, so like that's when I'm like, oh,
and to like and to push off work as well. Like Tony even said it on Sunday, and then on Monday night too. He was like, "Y'all aren't filming," and I was like, "No, I was like, I need to sit, like I need to lie down. Like I'm in so much pain," and I was like, "And I'm losing so much blood." And he was just like, okay, all right. And I sent you that picture where because I had been having symptoms or whatever, and of being pregnant, and I did go to the doctor, and they did confirm that that's what it was. I sent him like, I'm pretty sure this is happening, blah, blah, like this is the pain I'm having, all that. Like we've been through it, I know. And he knows how I handle it. He knows how to handle it with me. So he knew that all he needed to do, like, I don't want anyone around me. Like, text me, whatever. I'm going to be in bed. It's okay. Like, I just need you to know that this is what's happening and everything's fine. And he texted me back and he said, "Do you need anything?" And I texted him back a picture of Wiggum laying next to me, just snuggling the shit out of me. And I said, "No, Wiggum knows the drill." And you could tell I'd been like crying, and I screenshotted that and sent it to you. And yeah, it sucks, obviously. And I had been trying to figure out how to like word that in like a community post or something, because it's just like, and not to like sad fish or anything, but it's like, or make it like excuses or whatever, but I know that realistically like our audience would be like, bitch, we don't care if we have an episode on Tuesday, whatever. But then if I just say like, oh, we're doing this or whatever, like there's not, and just like leave it at that, like there's not going to be one, like then it's like, okay, well, why? We're fine, everything's good.
There were a lot of factors. It was
cried a lot.
It was weird how it all happened though too. Like we were like, it kind of started with me knowing everything that you were going through, and then that's like how I kind of got into the rabbit hole, because I was like, hey, don't worry, like there's an update here anyways, like you get some rest, like it's fine, we've got something to talk about. Well,
and then I was able to distract
myself,
and then as I was
I
hopped in it.
I was in the hole, and I was like, babe, this is getting insane.
You gotta get in here. The water's fine.
Yeah, it got it was crazy how it all worked out. But yes, like in terms of like the initial delay of the episode, that was what was going on, and then we thought it was gonna all be fine. But
and I always just want to give my people an update and stuff, because I remember that's like I had always said like, oh, I'm never gonna share like that I'm pregnant or I have a kid, but then I was like, wait, like I've my people have been there with me through what, 7 8. No, this is 7. I don't know. We've lost count. But we're fine. It's okay. And I appreciate you. But yeah, this hurt real bad this time. It was rough. Anyways, so thanks, Elizabeth. You were a very good distraction.
Jesus Christ.
Girl, so I got blood work done when I was pregnant, and then I went to the doctor yesterday when I was not. He looks at my paperwork and my labs, and he goes, so
he's like, do you know?
Yeah. And I was like, and he's a family friend, hilarious. And I was like, I'm not. And he goes, well, I know you like to think you know everything. What? And I said, this is not like a Maury moment. Like, the lie detector did not say, the paternity test. And he was just like, oh. He's like, well, I'm sorry. We've been through it. It's all right. And I was like, it is all right. And he was
Thank
like,
God for that being your doctor, though.
yeah. And
definitely the guy you need.
Oh, he's amazing, girl. And he's like,
not me.
Right.
Not me. Just
no. And he's like,
do you want to talk about it?
No. He's like, anyway, so on a more hilarious note, I took a test to be able to give out the way he phrased it. He's like, I took a test to become a drug dealer. I was like, what? And I was like, oh, the medical marijuana cards. And he's like, yeah. However, you take the test, you pass it, then guess what? Surprise, now you can do it. They don't tell you how to do it or what to do. So I don't know what I'm doing. And I was like, well, I don't want to be your guinea pig. So you go ahead and figure that out with someone else. And then I'll come back to you. Yeah, he's so funny. I love him so much. He's great. But yeah, everything's good. I'm fine. But I do appreciate the kindness and patience and all that. And not with Elizabeth though. So shit happened with his business, which he hasn't confirmed yet that she was like behind every single part of that, which I think she was. We'll get more into that later.
Yeah, him and I are talking tomorrow about that. Yeah, about the dead guy.
I mean, do you need to 3-way me in? Let's make it a threesome.
Oh yeah, we can.
I'll go to his house. What kind of doctor is he? I'll show up at his work.
Eye doctor, which is hilarious. That's why I almost died, because of like the person that you talked to saying that it was like an eye thing. I'm like, bitch, she's an eye doctor.
Well,
which I think that's her thing though, right? Like, so now she's picking up on that because she can know like some of the terminology, because Andrew caught her in a lot of like, that didn't make sense when it came to like the cancer and like like the appendix surgery and stuff. He's like, you're having all this like, and looking at like doctored blood work and stuff. He's like, this doesn't make sense. Like, do your doctors know what they're doing? Because I'm an eye doctor and I don't even know anything of this field, and this doesn't make sense to me.
Even the stuff that was like super general though, like if you are in or like work in like medical records or something, like you would know
you would know what to pick up on. Yeah.
I mean,
and that's what he said.
Enough to be
he didn't try to like make himself he didn't try to make himself be like, he's like, I don't fucking know what an appendix surgery, I don't know whatever. And he's like, this doesn't make sense to me. You don't get out as an eye doctor.
You don't get out that day.
Yeah.
Girl,
yeah. No. And get Chick-fil-A.
And you have a scar.
Yeah, well, she did show the scar that everybody who saw it online who actually had that. It was a certain appendix surgery.
No, where did she say it was? Because typically, especially these days, they go through your belly button.
So people who have had it what is it? Please.
No, that was beautiful. No, keep going, because I'm going to correct you. What did you just say?
Laparoscopic appendix surgery?
Laparoscopic?
Laparoscopic.
You still said it wrong. I love it. Keep going. You're so beautiful.
Okay, that's what she said she had. So people who had that was like, you're showing scars. One big scar. No, she showed one big scar. Wait, you haven't seen it? I'll show you guys. You guys are going to love this. It's the jankiest looking
like a C-section scar? From like the
no, it's worse. She shows the jankiest looking keloid, basically already healed after like a day, apparently. People are like, it's actually 3 incisions and it's like very small and then you have a couple stitches. No stitches. This was her scar. Chelsea, I don't think you're ready.
Please tell me it's like the substance.
It is giving the substance. You've got it.
This is amazing. Girl, if you're going to lie about something, make it good. Like, for instance, I could lie, and I could lie about anything, but I could lie and say that my melanoma scar, you've seen that one. I could lie and say my melanoma scar was I could say it was a back surgery. I could say it was a minimally invasive endoscopic spinal surgery. Yeah, on my my C71. Did I just make my cervical spine too long? Yeah, I did. Right? How many cervical discs?
Babe, this was supposed to be the next day.
That looks like a James and the Giant Peach glowworm. What the fuck is that? Did she burn herself with her straightener?
Oh, that actually, you might be onto something. This is like, what are you talking about? She's saying that she's saying that this is less than a week after the surgery. That is a healed keloid scar.
Yeah, girl, no, it's not, because guess what, bitch? 2 weeks after a surgery, that's when you have your incision follow-up.
There's no, and like, where's your Chris Blind? Like, people had shown, but this is how she got suckers, you know, because she was like,
girl, she said she went to TGH to have that done. They should sue her. They need to sue her because that's atrocious. They would never. So within this span of, let's say, 5 years up until literally now, which as we're filming this, I have multiple people reaching out to me from Tampa, people I know and people I don't know, and people I know through other people, 2 degrees of separation, 3, 4, 1, 0 degrees of separation. It's literally me. People reaching out that I haven't even told you yet who were like, yeah, I'm born and raised in Tampa and, she scammed my best friend and he's a CEO and he doesn't want to be outed, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, born and raised? Bitch, do we know each other? Why are you talking to me through your dog's page? Do I need to get Wiggum involved? Okay, so
that's what you're saying though too, right? Like, people, they don't want to, and that's okay. Hey, but also we will put, like, or when I say we, I mean Chelsea, in the next PSA we'll put, you can be fully anonymous. Like, that is okay too.
The whatever level of anonymity you want is fine with us. Whatever makes you comfortable. I have people who want to just send me their like written statement, but I always say like it means more and it's more of an emotional grab for the viewer if I can have like a channel member or a Patreon member or someone do like voice acting for it, and or one of us read it off or just do like a voice modulator or whatever. And or even if you are okay with your voice.
Or we got Richie. You want a black man with a strong Barry White accent? We fucking got you.
Exactly. You want someone to sound like Colonel Sanders? I'll call my dad. It's fine. But it's more so just whatever makes you comfortable. So it's like, okay, just don't show my face or don't show my name or, whatever. And that's fine. We can do that. It's just getting the story out there is important. And if you're like, oh, well, there's too many specifics in this story that she'll know it's me. Hey, guess what? She's not going to do anything to you. She has no power. She's a nobody. Also, though, hey, your feelings are valid. But, babe, she's done this to so many people.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
And that just goes to show, like, just based on her response to you.
That she was like,
when
can
it was
you give
the
more
400,
context?
I always go back to that. I'm like, the 400, she's like, I'm going to talk about that 10,000 in 2022.
Why? Yeah, what? Why is more context needed, babe?
That's crazy.
So they had a foreclosure on their house, birth of another child. They lost their home. She got pregnant with their second child, blah, blah, blah. Then she claimed cancer 3 months after she became pregnant with a second daughter. Then they had lived in Tarpon Springs, and which is a real fun area. They have sponge docks down there. Real cool. Lots of Greek people. Love it. And then they were evicted again. Like, babe, crazy. And then this is also in 2021, signed a lease for Lulu's Coffee and Wine Bar. Then she later admitted that she forged Andrew's signature.
Yep.
And then,
because he didn't want any part of the coffee and wine bar venture. He was like, we've already been evicted and you're going through treatment. Like, why are you trying to do this?
And then in 2021, at the end of the year, on Christmas, she left Andrew with the children, and she searched for photos at the beginning of the next year, 2022 January. She searched for photos of physical abuse, bleeding, ribs, stomach bruises, all that. Then a few days later, searched for a bruising app, tools, and all that stuff. Domestic violence petition, one filed. A few people that I'm speaking with feel bad because they believed her during all of that and actually were like part of that.
Who would? Yes, I know who
Yeah.
you're talking about. And I think she's open to saying, like, talking about things too.
Yes.
She's also saying, like, it was based on, like, conversations that she was, like, thinking that she was hearing over the phone. And same with Andrew, like, which is crazy, is, like, her reaction to things. Like, when you're hearing something on the phone, like, he would say, like, a doctor would call, and I could see the call come through. And then it was just like her reaction of like being like, oh, and like it was almost like kind of like a, not deadpan, but just like you're not knowing if it's good news or bad news, but it's feeling like maybe it could be either way. And then getting off the phone and being like, it was the worst news I've ever received. So he was like, I know calls were coming through, but now, like, in hindsight, knowing that she didn't have cancer, it was probably like, all of this is like, you know, coming back, or like, come and see us, like, so we can like further whatever. And then she gets off the phone and she's like, it's the worst case scenario. It's spread. So he was like, that's what kept me longer. It wasn't like I'm just a blind fool being told things. There were calls. And then when her friends were saying the same about Andrew, right? It was like, it would be like calls like, where the fuck are you? Like, you're supposed to pick up your kids, or you're supposed to be here with the kids, and there'd be a fight, and then she'd get off the phone and be like, he's threatening to kill me, or he's, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Good God. Ooh, Cora Water Street. That's expensive. I just love that, like, I'm boots on the ground, you know?
You know, yeah.
Yeah. That's expensive. I can't live there. I also own my home. No, my name's on the deed. My name is not on the mortgage, because guess
You also
what?
didn't swindle a poor
Because I have $8
old
in my
man.
account. Anyway, so yeah, I also have worked for all of the money I have. So blah, blah, blah. And then they were, okay, so 2 other domestic violence petitions in 2 different counties, which were denied in 2022. And then she was evicted from Cora Water Street. And again, she's just not paying anything. And then a month later, she was evicted. So Water Street is in like downtown Tampa, basically. Clearwater, which is the other side of the Bay Area. That's where all the Scientologists are. Not all of them, but most of them. So that was literally a month later. Crazy. And then another domestic violence petition. And you might be thinking, wow, that's a lot of domestic violence petitions. If there is actual domestic violence, you're most likely still going to have a lot of petitions too. I mean, that paper trail would probably look like this. It sucks, but you know. And then 2 months after that, in February of 2023, the owner of the building that she has her commercial space in, her Lulu's coffee bar, girl.
That she had a full photo shoot outside of, with it as an empty shell. They hadn't even broken ground
Cute.
yet.
Sues her for unpaid rent. If you're going to sue someone for unpaid rent, that means that it has probably never been paid.
Yeah. No.
Insane. So then she opened a Suncoast bank account that same month, February 2023. February 2023, she searched, Google search or whatever, for 7 times abuse. And then April 2023, Suncoast Bank files a criminal report. Love that. Super quick. And then that same month, felony charges filed, fraud and bad check. Ooh. I gotta go talk to Tony's boss. Anyways, yes, I do all of the correct avenues to do things. I have to put in the same request that everyone else does. I can't just like walk up to the sheriff and be like, hey, hot stuff.
What do you know?
Hey, hot stuff. Because he'd be like, I don't know, I'm shaking babies and kissing hands all day. So, with his beautiful Botox. He's so hot. Look at this picture of us. He actually doesn't look super hot in that picture. And maybe I can like lighten up because the shadows weren't cute, but he's super hot. I love him. And his wife, amazing. I love you, Nikki. Okay, she does not watch this. Okay, so then May 2023 files affidavit stating $4,000 a month income, includes rental property income. And then a Range Rover was purchased by Richard Powell. Okay, June 2023.
That was the old guy.
Yeah, the old guy. June 2023, the Range Rover was purchased by Richard Powell. July 2023, it moves into home rented by Richard Powell. So that was the $900 a month home. Because, yeah, y'all will understand that.
No, that isn't.
Then what?
That's
when is
after. The $900 a month house was in 2021. So this is after.
So wait, so no, she had 2 Range Rovers then? Because remember
She had a, yeah, no, she has. She's had different ones because that's the one with the body cam footage.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Outside
Okay.
of that house.
Yeah.
That's a different one than the one Andrew's talking about. That one had already been taken away. Insane. Because she got that under the Lulu coffee cocktail wine bar as a business expense. Remember when he was just like, I thought we were going to do a minivan for the kids, and then all of a sudden like you had a Kia for a day, and then you're like, this is a business this is a business write-off, and you show up with it was a Range Rover or Land Rover or whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that's okay. I was confused then. Sorry. There's just so many Range Rovers. Cannot relate.
That's the thing. Yeah.
God, and y'all think we switch cars quick? Jesus Christ. I'll stick with my Tahoe, thanks. Jesus, this is crazy. Okay, so then she moves into home rented by Richard Powell, which is the old man that she scammed. And then 8/16/2023, she's arrested for felony fraud. Ooh, what's her?
We have the mugshot.
Is it fabulous?
No.
Yes.
No. It's showing exactly like the difference between like I don't want to be rude.
Meth.
It's like it's like, you know, like the photo that Michaela Noguera posts on her socials, and then the ones that her friends post on socials on the same day in the same like booth eating food, and you're able to like cross-reference. That is pretty much what it is.
Instagram versus reality. Yeah.
Yes. That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay, so then felony fraud. Richard Powell gives statement to police. Greg Powell, the son of Richard Powell, contacts judge alleging $1 million in fraud. Elizabeth files DV. This is the next year in 2024. July, Elizabeth files DV case against Andrew. 8/24, Tangled Tales Gala 2024, Fear to Fierce.
That's her nonprofit.
It's not, but let's go with that.
Her not.
Yeah.
No.
So the organization is not registered, and she had been promoting it as like a masquerade, like a masked ball.
Yeah.
And I had been looking at it and I was like, oh my God, that is cool.
It was giving Let's Do This and Willy Wonka experience. Insert Jesse and Lily right here.
Is that The Unknown? Oh my God, no.
The
it's Lily
Unknown.
Marston. Yeah, so that's horrible. That was around the same time that she allegedly had been like scamming people within the like gala committee co-chair type of bullshit. I say bullshit. Chelsea, you do that. Not DV, but the gala
co-chairs. So from what you were like hearing about already, like what you've been hearing
and
about.
that, so let me not sit like a goddamn gremlin. Okay, and then Vincent Lancey, which was February of this year,
That's the podcast guy.
Files a debt claim. It was who?
That's the podcast guy.
Okay, so I don't know about this one. So what is this one?
I'm not even deep enough in there yet. He's on the list of us to reach out, but he's the most recent, so he's at the bottom.
So
right now, but
Jesse and Lily will probably cover that.
I think they will, yeah.
Yeah.
So he just filed because something in the contract or whatever, and then
the
tried
podcast
to
guy.
return funds. I don't know what it was like, trying to like push him out, and it was I'm sure Jesse and Lily have like a breakdown, and we'll get there, but we're not there yet.
If we can find any really stupid clips from her, has she ever posted episodes of a podcast?
Yeah, she said that she had like 360,000 people. I don't know if it was just on Patreon or if it was like already like following her podcast. She was like, "Thank you so much for 360K," and I was like,
"No, girl,
how?
No, that's first of all." No, that was just TikTok followers.
Anyway, it's in the doc, and it had to do with like the podcast. She was like saying something about the podcast. She couldn't believe that like that many people had we'll get there. This is why we're not doing an episode on this.
Exactly. I just got another person to reach out to me. I'm so excited, bitch. Let's get it. Hello, Clout Queens, Kings, and In-Betweens. This is Chelsea here with just a quick little update. I am going to go ahead and apologize if you can hear Wiggum snoring. Also, though, you know you like it. However, so inventing Elizabeth, more than Elizabeth Schmuck and Fork. Well, listen, I I've been researching this, could not tell you how to spell or pronounce her last name. And you know what? She does not deserve that at all. However, I just wanted to let y'all know that me and Cher are still, or rather Cher and I are still in the thick of it. And we have had so many more people reach out to us. I got a text from one of my very good friends, Joaquin, today, and he said, hey, hey, bitch, how much you want to know about this Elizabeth bitch? And I was like, oh, dear God, he's gay if you can't tell. And good Lord, girlfriend, he just happens to be the most recent landlord that evicted her. So as you can tell, I'm far too connected into this. I'm locked in. And I really hope y'all are too. I hope y'all are excited. And I wanted to update y'all. Haven't even told Cher this, little insider information. But just in spite of Elizabeth Schmockenbrook, the Here for the Clout podcast is actually one of the sponsors of the 8th annual Handbags and Happy Hour charity event that is put on by The Spring. And The Spring is a local organization, The Spring of Tampa Bay. It's amazing. We will actually have the link to this event linked in the description box. They are just so amazing for what they do for people who are in domestic violence situations. They're able to help so much, and it's absolutely so wonderful. I've only heard amazing things about this event, and apparently the individual who helps host, or maybe she's, a co-chair or whatnot of these events with The Spring. She has hosted other events that are centered around domestic violence awareness and helping people get out of those situations and fundraising for those types of things. Now, allegedly, Elizabeth has been at these types of events in Tampa and in South Tampa and just really going around the charity gala circuit and trying to swindle and sadfish and trauma dump, allegedly, and all that. But so out of spite, like I said, the Here for the Clout podcast we just put in the little sponsorship form. I just put in a little sponsorship form to be one of the financial donors for this event, and I am actually going to be attending it as well. So this girl better hope that she is not there. It sounds like I'm going to fight her. I'm not going to do that. Just wanted to give you that update that it gets deeper and deeper, and we have spreadsheets full of different contacts that we're talking to, and we honestly could not do this without you, and we are so excited for this next step in our not only production value, but kind of like in our careers too, and to take y'all along with us and really expose this scammer and run her out of town, all right? Okay, that's it. Goodbye. So anyways, yeah, so we're going to head over to the Bone Zone because Sherilyn has some crazy shit, and I'm really excited. But hey, bye. Get out. Why are you still here? Oh, what is that? Hello. A little Roman salute?
No, God, no. Take it back.
Just kidding. We would never.
Rewind.
You sound like a turkey. Beautiful. That's your mating call. Well, anyways, we will see you in our next episode. Stay feral.
Damn the man.
She forgot. And save the empire.
Damn the man! Save the empire!
Goodbye.
Bye.